Arms.
Can they lift both arms?
S. Speech.
Is their speech slurred or confused?
T. Time.
Don't
Jumpers, hoodies, and tees for you at leaguetees.com.au.
Leaguetees.com.au is your place for retro footy gear with designs created by local artists that you won't find anywhere else. Plus, their unique range of women's footy tees help raise funds for Indigenous literacy programs. Get online and start shopping today.
leaguetees.com.au.
Could you recognise if one of your friends or family was having a stroke? Think fast.
F. Face.
Check their face. Has their mouth drooped?
A. Arms.
Can they lift both arms?
S. Speech.
Is their speech slurred or confused?
T. Time.
Don't wait. Call 000 now. Think fast. Act fast.
A message from the National Stroke Foundation.
The average person spends 44 minutes a day thinking about food. At Oz Harvest, thinking about food is a full-time job because we're always looking for new ways to nourish our country and combat food waste and hunger. Every day, we rescue quality surplus food across Australia and deliver it to those who'd otherwise go hungry. And you can help. Every dollar donated to Oz Harvest can provide 2 meals to people in need. Visit ozharvest.org. Thought for food.
Draft Central is entering a new era, covering all the state leagues from the VFLW, Sample W, Waffle W and Quaffle W, as well as their primary focus, the NAB League Girls. Draft Central has you covered when it comes to all you need to know about the future stars of the AFL Women's. Draft Central, brought to you by Rookie Me, is now on YouTube, so be sure to subscribe at Draft Central, as well as on our Facebook, Twitter and Instagram pages at Draft Central Oz.
They're my grandkids. Gee, they can make some noise. But you know what? It's a beautiful sound because they're alive and having fun. The sound I hate is silence in the pool. When a child drowns, you hear nothing. No splashing, no cries for help. Be vigilant around water. Fence the pool, shut the gate. I teach your kids to swim, it's great. Supervise, watch your mate, and learn how to resuscitate. I'm Laurie Lawrence. Kids Alive, do the 5.
If you've had something stolen,
or if you've had property damaged, you need the police, not the sirens. If you've lost something or found something valuable,
or if you want to register a party or let us know you're going away on holiday, you need the police, not the sirens.
When you need the police, but not the sirens, you can now report these incidents online at police.vic.gov.au or call 131 444.
Authorised by the Victorian Government, Melbourne.
Hi, Kirk Pengilly from InXS here. And whether it's music, sweet things, puppies, movies, we all love our treats. But our eyes need treating too. 300,000 Australians, including me, are affected by glaucoma. Diagnosed early, glaucoma can be managed. Left undiagnosed, it can cause blindness. So treat yourself by treating your eyes to a simple test. Book your test at treatyoureyes.org.au today.
How often should you wash your hands?
Maybe around 9 times a day. 4?
Like 20?
Maybe twice a day.
Whenever they feel dirty. When should you wash your hands?
After you touch some raw meat and before starting to eat. At the beginning, I wash my hands before preparing food.
How would you rate your knowledge of food safety?
Probably like an 8 out of 10. 6 or 7.
7.5? Learn more at foodsafety.asn.au/food safety training. Food safety, it's in your hands.
It's women's Aussie rules, they're doing what they love. They're fast, they're tough, don't mess with them cause they can get rough. Are you ready for the challenge? Are you ready for the match? It's the call of the game, it's the VFL Women's Match of the Day. It's the VFL Women's Match of the Day.
There's jumpers, hoodies, and tees for you at leaguetees.com.au.
Leaguetees.com.au is your place for retro footy gear with designs created by local artists that you won't find anywhere else. Plus, their unique range of women's footy tees help raise funds for Indigenous literacy programs. Get online and start shopping today.
leaguetees.com.au.
We are the Australian Literacy and Numeracy Foundation, striving to empower our most marginalised communities through literacy and education. Literacy is having a voice. Literacy is opportunity. Literacy is dreaming big. Literacy is freedom. Today, you can help end inequality and give every child access to our life-changing and proven literacy programs. Your support is vital. Donate now at alnf.org.
Hey Gary, what time you call this? Yeah, the traffic was really bad. Oh, there's Steve-o. G'day, Steve. Morning. How's your weekend? Same old, same old. What'd you get up to? Not much. Are you okay, mate?
Looking out for one another is something we all need to do. So if a mate's struggling, ask, are you okay? Listen, encourage action, and check in again soon. Those 4 steps could change their life. Find out more at ruok.org.au.
It's Anna Mears winning gold.
Hey, I'm Anna Mears. Winning gold at the Olympics was an incredible feeling, and having my biggest rival, who I'd just beaten, right up next to me and lift my hand in victory topped off an amazing moment. We'd had our fair share of clashes over the years, but in the end we both respected each other, and that's what really counts in sport. Be gracious in victory and in defeat. To keep your sport inclusive, safe and fair, go to playbytherules.net.au.
Behind bathroom tiles, under vinyl floor covering and carpets. You might not know it, but homes built or renovated before 1987 may contain asbestos. In cement sheeting, corrugated roofing, almost anywhere. So if you're renovating or doing a bit of DIY and you don't know the dangers, you could be risking your own and your family's lives.
Is it my turn, Dad?
Are you playing renovation roulette? Find out at asbestosawareness.com.au.
The Smith family have been helping disadvantaged Australian children for decades. Today we focus on helping children break the cycle of disadvantage by supporting them to get the most out of their education. But right now, 1 in 6 Australian children are living in poverty and don't have what they need for school. These kids need a hand up, not a handout. You can help them get the school essentials they need to fit in and the extra learning support to keep up. Please sponsor an Australian child today. Search the Smith family.
It's the VFL Women's Match of the Day.
On WARFradio.com and at the ground at IKON Park if you're listening on your FM radio on 89.1 FM. That's right, any VFLW ground you go to that we're at, just to 89.1 FM, you can hear our delay-free call of WRF Radio's Rebel Sport VFLW Match of the Day. And today we bring you, as part of our doubleheader, Carlton versus the Casey Demons from IKON Park. I'm Peter Holden. Great to have your company again for the second time today, but a bit of a shuffle in the commentary team. First of all, joining us down the end, you've heard her a number of times throughout 2019 as our match analyst. She was actually here at IKON Park in the 2019 VFLW Grand Final as our boundary rider, journalist, and yes, Melbourne supporter as well. You might hear a little bit of that today. A very good afternoon to Elise Collette.
Thank you. Thank you, Pete. Great to be here. Yes, I do happen to know a few of the D's listed players, but I'll keep the biases to myself then, shall we?
Fair enough. And also great to have here today as well, making her debut on play-by-play. She had a practice run last week, did very well. You may have heard her call the Victorian Blind Football League as well on Facebook, not all that long ago. Great to have for the very first time, Lauren Borden.
Fantastic to be here, Peter, at IKON Park. It's lovely to be sitting out here from the media box, looking out onto a pristine ground.
Absolutely. Everything looking in absolute tip-top condition for this opening game for Carlton Carlton and Casey in the VFLW. We'll give you some results later on from Geelong and Collingwood, but we can tell you that earlier today, Port Melbourne defeated North Melbourne, both making their VFLW debut. In the end, it was a 33-point victory to the Borough. Christina Bernardi standing out there for Port Melbourne with 3 goals. You may say, doesn't she play AFLW football? That's correct. She is playing for Richmond's VFLW affiliate, which is the Port Melbourne Borough. Well, we're just about all in readiness. Both sides lined up. Casey are going towards the Royal Parade end of the ground, while for the Blues, they'll be going towards the Lygon Street end. Just about all is in readiness. Good crowd in, a few hundred here at IKON Park. Umpire races the ball aloft, and we are away to begin this match. Taken away originally out of the rack by, it looks like Tarrant's moved the ball forward, trying to get on the end of it. Samantha Johnston bumped off of it, goes across towards the halfback. Bit of a don't argue, if you don't mind there for a moment, from the Casey Demons footballer. Out towards the wing, quick little chip over the top. Got it into the path there of Eliza West. She wanted to go west, and the umpire says you were going no further and is going to call for a ball up. Starting there is Klaveski in the ruck for the Blues. She is going up against Maggie Karras wearing the 46. Ball got out the back to Simmons. Simmons moved it along quickly, and all of a sudden it's all wrapped up once again. And the umpire is going to call for a bounce. Maggie Karras with the ball.
So not much movement here. We're still around the centre of the ground as the umpire throws the ball up again and going at it. We've got the 2 rucks there. No one can quite gain control for it, but it's coming out and it'll be Casey who are on a streaming ring there. That's Simmons, who plays a major part in getting it inside of the 50, but being able to clean it up is Carlton. Can't quite gain control of the ball there is Ware, but she struggles along. The ball falls to ground. Plays appealing for a bit of a ball up, but no, it's carrying on, and it's Casey going for a kick towards goal. There was Harrison Mook. She couldn't quite get it on the boot. It falls to ground, and the ball's ended on the ground there. A few players around the side, and the umpire comes in and he's ready to throw the ball up 10 metres outside of Casey's goals.
Just down at the Royal Parade end of the ground, umpire throws the football aloft. One out on this occasion by Hammonds, and all of a sudden they're all just going to circle around. The umpire is going to call for the ball back, and we'll ask for a restart. Giving the ball back, the umpire, Eliza West. Also, I can see on the ball, Brianne Gurr starting there for the Blues. Gurr actually wanted to get in, got out the back door. Jennifer Liu tried to get a hurried hand pass away. Vice captain for the Blues this year. Moved it out towards the back pocket. Winnie Lang, under all kinds of pressure, squeezed out the side. Samantha Johnson, and she goes to ground, and so does everyone else. The umpire just circling and says he's actually going to try and break it up by calling for a holding the football, and it's going the way of the Casey Demons, and they're going to have an opportunity for a shot on goal from approximately 35 metres out, the 45-degree angle. Elise Collette.
Yeah, interesting to see that he did call holding the ball there. Potentially controversial, but this will be a good chance for Johnston to make her mark on her new team.
Johnson, the captain, is away to the right and will register as a minor score. So that's the first score on the board for the VFLW season with the Casey Demons. They're 1 behind, while the Blues are yet to score.
So out come the Blues, playing on to try and get it out, try and get it clear, going wide there, marked by Lou. She goes back to reset. She's got a few options coming forward. Nearly goes the handball and instead decides to go for just a 25-metre kick. She finds her teammate Lank, who can't quite hold on to it, so the ball falls to ground, but it's coming out the back there, and in and amongst it are quite a few players, and it's Casey who's able to grant it to grab it by West, but she can't quite make anything of it, and it's taken by Klingbeil for Carlton. And she hits it straight into the man on the mark, and it's smothered there beautifully by Fitzsimmons. So she does her best for Casey, but she cleans up Klingbeil and she gets it forward, and it goes past the halfway mark of the ground as Carlton looks to do something here, but they can't quite grab it. Amongst there is Hales, and she's being important for Casey, but it's cleaned up by Carlton, and it'll be Lane here again, who's had plenty of the ball early, who'll try and get Carlton its first scoring opportunity, but it's a kick that goes straight to her opponent, and Casey are able to get some numbers forward and start going and trying to get their first goal of the game. They nearly make it to the 50, but a beautiful, strong mark there coming from Coletti.
So Jessie Coletti, originally out of Pascoe Vale, goes in towards the middle of the ground. Ball bounced back nicely for Magan, who now goes towards the half-forward flank position. Taken away there by the Casey Demons with a long kick towards centre half-forward. just bobbles around, trying to get in there as Simmons to lay a hand. Blues football as they move it out towards the wing on the now towards half-forward flank on the northern side of the ground. Spinning around to Cole Hales, who managed to pick it up off the ground there for the Casey Demons. Got it across to Samantha Johnson, who quickly went by hand to Karras. Karras went further up the line, Jennifer Lou brought it to the ground. Lou chasing after the football, goes hands and knees, goes for the quick hand pass back, looking for Klingbill, couldn't find her. Karras goes in there, immediately ripped off the ball. Everyone's going to jump on top of it, and we're going to call for a ball up. Elise Collette.
Yeah, neither side are making it very easy for each other to get good, clean possession there. And, although Casey have had plenty of the ball, Carlton are just not making it easy.
You're right, Ali. They haven't been able to make the most of it yet, Casey, and Carlton have had plenty of clean possession here, and they'll go again. There's a few players on the ground there. It's Casey first to the ball. And falling out there, it's still Casey. A nice little inside 50 here, but it's a 1v1. Running onto the ball is Carlton. They'll try and get it, but streaming in through there for Casey is actually Milford. So she gathers control of the ball, but can't quite make anything of it. So there's a bit of tussle on the ground going through, and it'll be Carlton who's first to clean up there, and Zampaglione gets it forward, but it's cut off there beautifully by McDonald. And again in the centre of the ground, play will reset there for Casey. A nice long kick to the top of the 50. She finds a teammate in open space. So it's Harasmik who'll try and look towards a teammate. She's got a couple of leads coming towards her. So she goes for the short kick in, but there was nowhere else that it was going than her Carlton opponent. So it'll be the Blues. A nice strong mark in defence there, who'll look to take it out and go wide. A teammate running wide there in Trudgeon. Late onto the Carlton AFLW list this year, so she's got her opportunity here today, and she goes wide, can't quite find Mangan, so it'll be Casey's ball on the outer side of the ground.
Here on WARFradio.com and the VFL stream, mark taken there for the Blues at the half-back city side of the ground. Furthest from our broadcast position, taken by Hammonds. Hammonds now goes up the line, came off hands, pack of 4. Demons will send it back from whence it came. Standing tall to take the mark, though, to intercept was the number 13 in Jarvis, outmarking Fairchild. Jarvis on the right, goes up the line, now trying to find a teammate there. I think Coletti was nearby, couldn't quite find her. Blues swing around, clearing kick on the wing, now chasing it towards Brett, who now, Tegan Brett will go inside 50. Foot race is going to be on here. Getting back to Imogen Milford is the fastest to get on the right boot. Swing around towards true centre half back. Awkward bouncing football. Got runners on here. Simmons now going up towards the half forward flank. Open paddock in front if they can work this out. Holding up play there. Imogen Milford now, gets on the right foot. Public foot swings it around towards her teammate, and Hara Music couldn't quite get it. Now going in there's Thompson. Quickly across with a snap around the body towards the top of the square. And just getting back there at the moment is Esther Honeybun, formerly of Darebin, who will go now towards Jennifer Lou. Lou on the right boot. Close towards the boundary line, through the hands there of Ingram, lost control of it, went back to Kelly Thompson, originally out of Seaford. Her kick is turned over, and the Blues have an opportunity now off half-back if they can link up here. They're trying to find Kolevsky, who has it. He got it back, now on the right boot. Her kick, though, went straight down the throat of Kelly Thompson.
So Thompson will look out, look in, and go for her teammates. A few leads coming in, nothing too clear for her, so she goes to a small pack there. 2v1, Carlton's was leading that pack there, and it's them who were able to get the ball there via the hands of Kolevsky. She gets tackled, but she's still able to find her teammate in Hammonds, who starts to get a little bit of a run on here. She sends it into an open 50, but there's not many there home. Trudgeon's doing her very best for Carlton, but it's Casey who's able to grab the ball, and it's a high tackle there, so it'll be Casey's ball, and they'll be able to take it out of Carlton's attacking 50 via this free. So going forward there with the free kick is McGee. She looks wide to her teammate, running onto it is Kirkwood. She tries to beat her opponent out of there, and she does beat Peterson, but still a little bit of toing and froing here, and the ball's in dispute. But it's Casey who manages to pick it up and goes onto the right boot. Little chip kick, and she finds the safe hands of her teammate. She'll give her teammates a little bit of a chance here now just to get into the 50 and provide some leads. And it's Carlton who's able to chop it off, but a little bit of toing and the ball's in dispute on the ground, but Carlton's able to grab it again. And in comes the strong hands of Hammonds, who's being a bit of a general long half back, and she goes and tries to find her teammate along the outer side of the ground. but it goes over the boundary line and it'll be a throw-in.
Score at the moment, 1 behind to no score, and that is a lead to the Casey Demons here on WARFradio.com and also via the VFL stream. Thanks very much for your company this afternoon as the ball is thrown back into play. Quick little hand pass out. Was trying to find the running player there in Emma Humphreys, a former AFLW listed player. Long ball towards the forward 50. Taken away by the Blues with the quick hands by Ingram. Works it sideways. Nikolevsky again goes for a run. One bounce, that's nice. On the right boot, wants to go long inside 50. Nobody home. And an easy mark back there. I think might be Lauren McGee, the Irish woman. One of the new Melbourne AFLW recruits. Off to a teammate who had to get rid of a tackle and go almost towards the centre of the ground. The breeze took it a little bit towards the right. Almost cut off there by Winnie Lang. Hand pass out with Fitzsimmons laying on the tackle. Umpire says help without the football. And it will be a free kick going the way of Winnie Lang of Carlton. So Lang went left, then went right, got around the player on the mark. Her kick towards centre half forward. Didn't stick. Ball in dispute. Half a dozen around it. Trying to get in there was Bridie Winbanks. Umpire still allowing the play to go on. It does eventually pop out, coming towards the northern side of the ground. Eliza Wood is there. And the umpire has no choice but in the end to blow the whistle and call for a ball up. Elise Collette.
One interesting thing that Casey and Melbourne fans will like to keep an eye on is the fact that Lauren McGee is actually playing in defence. In her debut for the D's last week, she was actually playing forward. So that's an interesting thing to notice from the coaching staff at the D's. So I wonder what the thinking behind that is.
Perhaps something that you're trying to look at for future rounds for the rest of the season. So that's something we'll keep a keen eye on there as play restarts. But it won't go for long, and it'll be a free kick heading Casey's way. Bit of holding there, so the Demons now have a chance again to go forward. A little quick handball off to the left there from Winbanks. Paves a nice little play here for her team, but Casey's caught up here. Beautiful tackle there and great pressure being put on by Carlton, but really good play there from Fairchild to get the ball out of that little pack. But it goes to the opposition here. So Carlton, quick kick, quick handball, quick mark. And long kick down is Hammonds. She sends it straight into the forward line. 2-3 players running towards it, so it's a bit of who can get there quickest. Managing to outmuscle her opponent off the ball is Carlton's player. It's the Blues who have got their hands on the ball here at the bottom of the pack. It'll be a bit of a tussle here as they try and do something with it, but the umpire will come here and they'll give each side a chance to reset and get going again. So a quick throw up there. Looks like it'll go Casey's way in terms of the tap out, and it does. But again, it's the Blues who are able to jump on the pack of the ball early, about 3 or 4 on top of each other, and we'll get our second ball up in about 20 seconds here, 30 metres out from Carlton's goals. Probably one of their best opportunities to score as we wind down the clock in the first quarter here at IKON Park. A lot of players have got a hand on the ball. Running onto it there from Carlton, trying to do her best is Lang. She's been very important early for the Blues. And cleaning up, we've got a couple of players cleaning up here on the broadcast side of the ground. Quick kick off the ground there from Casey Demons from West. Smart play there. Couldn't quite get it to her team's advantage though, so this time it'll be coming into nearly the hands of McCullough who gets a hand on that. But able to pick it up cleanly is Lang again. She'll send it forward to a pack. No one's able to take it there, so it'll go round and it'll be anyone's ball again. So it's Carlton who's able to grab it, and a little bit of the umpire says it's dropping the ball. So despite Carlton's best efforts in that little period of play, it'll go back to the Demons.
So we're on the half-back flank broadcast side, just looking around for some options. They elect to go long and down the line towards the Royal Parade end. Long on the right boot. Awkward bounce and managing to punch it forward. Kelly Thompson put it into space. Smart football. Juggling it is Imogen Milford. Had it, then lost it. Was harassed off the football by Jessica Letty, who goes with a short pass. Was trying to find Zampaloni. Couldn't quite get there. With support, Winnie Lang. Ball popped out. Fairchild. Fairchild towards the half-forward flank at the 50-metre line. Dropping it there is Notman. Is at half-back for Carlton. Umpire said you dropped the football, and that'll be a free kick going the way of the Casey Demons. With it is the number 22, Kelly Thompson. Thompson gets the hurry up, decides to go towards the pack. 35 metres out. 3 Blues, 3 Demons. Who will come out with it? There is Eliza West. Had it, was dispossessed of the football. Waiting off the pack there was Emma Humphreys. Her kick, though, was out of bounds on the full. Free kick going the way of the Blues. 1 behind the Casey Demons. No score, Carlton. We have played 13 minutes into this first term. WARFradio.com is Lauren Borden.
So Jessie Coletti will look to take it out of the back line. Looks like she might go for a run, but instead she goes the safe option. She gets it into the hands of Notman. So she'll take a step here, looks nearly like she's going to go wide, but she sees a nice lead coming from her teammate. She opts not to go for the option of Kalexi, instead goes to the pack, but it'll be the same result here because it'll be a free off to her teammate. So Carlton still have the ball in hand. They look to move quickly, but a fantastic smother there coming from Casey, and it'll be a quick turnaround here. So beautiful kick there coming from Thompson. She's able to find the safe hands of West, who will now line up here 30 metres outside of goal to try and put Casey's first major on the board. She looks set to take it herself and gets her run up. Puts it onto the left boot. It goes wide. It might not make the distance, so there's a few options there for her teammates, but Carlton will instead get the ball here and try and move it to safety. A nice little hand out the back there. Running onto it from Carlton was where she can't quite get her hands into it, so it'll be Casey's chance of a goal again. A beautiful run here coming from Zampaglione. Look at that pace go. Look at her go. 2, 3 bounces. And a quick handball off the left down to Hammonds. Looks like they might be able to get a play on here. A bit of pressure coming from Casey, but they can get rid of the ball, but it'll still, to no avail, go back into the hands of the Demons, who will go again here. Running onto it is West, who just had her shot at goal. She can't quite manage to take hold of it, so it'll be a nice little chip kick out here to Klingbeil. And Carlton will look to get the ball out of the danger zone, so nice long kick wide, goes into the hands of her teammate in Trudgeon, who can't hold on to it, but brings the ball to ground. 2, 3 Casey players running onto it. Nice little duck there, but she's taken high, so the free, but it'll be a play on. So still in the hands of Casey, running onto it. And a tackle there coming from Gert. So she tries to bring her opponent to ground and stop this run here, and it does a little bit of the job, and it'll be dropping the ball, and the ball will go Carlton's way.
Here on WARFradio.com and the VFL stream. Apologies, we sound a little bit off here for the first quarter, just getting our equipment set up for the first day for our season. I'm making sure everything works correctly. Might throw the commentators here for a moment or two. Going up the line, Trudgeon, who was spoiled from behind and then jumped all over, and the umpire is going to watch and say you are gone for holding the football. And it will be a free kick going the way of the number 25, Samantha Johnson, captain of the Casey Demons. Interviewed her this week on the Women's Australian Rules Football podcast at the VFLW media launch, which was held on Monday at Port Melbourne. Gives the hands off, and here's the long bomb inside 50. Juggling fingertip mark, couldn't be held there. Lawrence was trying to clean it up for the Blues, but she was dispossessed of the football. Going in there again, Winnie Lang, who has been impressive. Umpire still calling play on. Plenty of players there. Zampaglione again. Oh, look at that. Weave to the right, weave to the left, and then goes in towards the middle of the ground. Her kick, though, went through the hands of Meg McDonald. No relation to the Geelong player. Lang went backwards to go forwards in a way, then went out towards the wing, managing to find Eliza Wood. And Wood was going to go left and then thought, I'm going to switch here, and she's going to go to the right on the city side of the ground. This is where she spots up Esther Honeybun. Honeybun sees Klingbeil running for the football. Klingbeil's got it, runs inside 50, 45 metres out, goes towards the top of the square, trying to get front position there. I think it might have been Klaverski, and the ball, has it gone out, or has the umpire paid a free kick here? He's paid a free kick right on the boundary line, in fact. And from what I can see, looks like it might be Paige Trungeon. Just a bit difficult to see from the distance from our broadcast box. She decides to go the check side, and probably not a wise idea. Out of bounds on the full. No score. Carlton, no score. Casey Demons, 1 behind. Some thoughts from Elise Collette.
Despite the bad result at the end of that, that's the best passage of play from Carlton we've seen all quarter. They were able to find the player out in space, kick it to them, and then just make their lives easier, for want of a better phrase.
So it'll be the Blues ball again on the outer side of the ground. They'll look and try and put one of those plays that you just mentioned together, Ali, and see if they can move the ball quickly here. A long kick down there, looks like floating at the back there for control of it. They are, so they move it forward. 2v1, very good there for Carlton has been Notman. She tries to get her hands on the ball, but it looks like she gets a good tackle on her opponent, and she draws that dropping the ball kick, and she grabs it and plays on, but the umpire will say no. It's time to bring that back. So the Blues might have wanted to get a little bit of a run on there, but instead they'll have to bring it back and reset, and this gives Casey that opportunity to get on their players and potentially get another intercept here and put the pressure on that they've been so good at this quarter. But the Blues will try and get a score to end this quarter. So pushing it forward there is Nottingham. Can't quite hold it her teammate. And so the ball will be a bit in dispute here. Casey's kind of got it, and then, they've...
I know what they're saying. It's just an absolute mess out there on the wing position towards centre half forward. Trying to work the way through there is Lawrence for the Blues. She goes on hands and knees, can't get it out. Klingbeil jumps in as well. She's going to try and lay a tackle as the siren sounds to indicate it is quarter time here at IKON Park, and the score at the moment simply shows the KC Demons one behind. Carlton, no score. Certainly different from the earlier game that we saw between Port Melbourne and North Melbourne, end-to-end attacking football. Here at the moment, it's almost being played between the arcs. It's staying wing to wing at the moment. Both sides try to break it open. No one, Ali, can really find that clear mark and shot on goal inside 30.
Yeah, absolutely. Exactly what you said. It's being played between the 50s. A lot of hard defensive pressure and just not a lot of clean kicks. Carlton have had a few, would arguably have had more good passages of space and clean football than Casey have, but yeah, for once the scoreboard reflects what's happened on the ground, really. There's just hasn't been a lot of easy options for either side.
I do get the feeling, I don't know if you do, but I get the feeling that Casey will run away with this game a little bit just from their pressure and from the plays that they had in this opening term. I think it might be a little bit of a case that they might start to run away with it in the second term.
I think probably the frustrating thing for Carlton is there are periods where they're showing some nice run from half back. It's this breakdown around centre wing and being able to link up to the forward line and then use their pretty vacant forward 50. It's like they're doing, it's almost like a three-step process. They're doing the first step, they just can't get the rest to go right.
They do. They have a sensational backline, Carlton. It was Hammonds where I think they really stood out in the opening term, as well as Notman. So I think they've got some definite strength in their defence, but as you mentioned, it's just making that and getting the most of that opportunity and putting it on the scoreboard.
We'll take this opportunity to take a quick break. This is the VFLW match of the day, the second of the two matches that we're broadcasting today on WARFradio.com and the VFLW stream. Don't forget, we're also on air tomorrow. Myself, Paul Sebastiani and Katie Lambeski bringing you the Western Bulldogs and Hawthorn at a VU Whitten Oval from 9 a.m. to 12 noon. We'll be back on the other side of this.
I was lucky that when I picked up the phone that day to call my best friend, that he answered.
Despite almost every Australian knowing someone who has been affected by suicide, we still don't talk about it. Lifeline Australia's new podcast, Holding On to Hope, shares stories of survivors and the connections made to find the hope to keep living. Because when we talk about suicide, we realise our capacity to support those around us. Holding On to Hope. lifeline.org.au/podcast.
Draft Central is entering a new era, covering all the state leagues from the VFLW, Sample W, Waffle W and Quaffle W, as well as their primary focus, the NAB League Girls. Draft Central has you covered when it comes to all you need to know about the future stars of the AFL Women's. Draft Central, brought to you by Rookie Me, is now on YouTube, so be sure to subscribe at Draft Central, as well as on our Facebook, Twitter and Instagram pages at Draft Central Oz.
Hi, Matt Welsh here. In Australia, drowning is one of the biggest killers of kids under 5. So take a few minutes to check your pool barrier set for this summer. Visit kidsafe.com.au to find out how. Because safe barriers save lives.
How often should you wash your hands?
Maybe around 9 times a day. 4?
Like 20?
Maybe twice a day.
Whenever they feel dirty.
When should you wash your hands?
After you touch some raw meat and before starting to eat. At the beginning, I wash my hands before preparing food.
How would you rate your knowledge of food safety?
Probably like an 8 out of 10.
6 or 7. 7.5.
Learn more at foodsafety.asn.au/food safety training. Food safety, it's in your hands.
If you've had something stolen,
or if you've had property damaged, you need the police, not the sirens.
If you've lost something or found something valuable,
Or if you want to register a party or let us know you're going away on holiday, you need the police, not the sirens.
When you need the police, but not the sirens, you can now report these incidents online at police.vic.gov.au or call 131 444.
Authorised by the Victorian Government, Melbourne.
Hi, this is Missy Higgins for RAD, recording artists, actors and athletes against drink driving. I see a lot of things at gigs, mostly people having a good time and a few drinks. But what I'd hate to see is someone getting behind the wheel after they'd been drinking. Being even a little bit over the limit makes it too easy to lose control. So if you plan to drink, plan ahead. Arrange a designated driver who won't drink. Remember, music lives and you should too.
On WARFradio.com and the VFLW live stream, this is the VFL Women's Match of the Day, our second of the day. We're doing Carlton and Casey. At the moment, it is one behind for the Casey Demons and no score for Carlton at quarter time. We don't mind giving you a bit of inside baseball here at WARFradio.com to let you know. Obviously, we're a group of volunteers that run this broadcast. It's great to have Lauren Borden on board. This is her debut match calling for us, which is fantastic. We had Luana Williams make her debut earlier this morning, and at the same time we don't have producers and we don't have technicians and all of that crazy stuff running behind the scene on the radio call. Essentially for myself, I produce in call, so we're trying to fiddle around with the volume levels and whatever this morning and today. So at any time you go, oh, you know what, that volume level dropped a bit, or you sound off your mic, or something doesn't sound right, feel free to send us a tweet at WARF Radio. It'd be much appreciated because we want to make sure the call is the best possible call there is for you as you enjoy the VFLW coverage throughout the year. Our Twitter handle at WARF Radio. And of course, if you want people to listen to the game, WARFradio.com and at the ground on 89.1 FM. We're just about ready to get underway for this second term as the umpire makes sure that all is in readiness. Crowd at the moment, I would estimate when I walked in, probably around about 300. Umpire holds the ball aloft and says, let's get going, shall we, for this second term. Up in the air, brought down to ground. Trying to get onto it then was Zampaglione, and the umpire says, dealt with unfairly, and you can have a free kick. And she'll do so and go towards the centre half forward position, was trying to find Lawrence, knocked off the ball. Kendall went through there for the Casey Demons, quickly got it across to Grace Buchan. Buchan now worked it out towards the centre wing position, found her teammate. Got on the left boot there, and Simmons goes up the line. This is nice linking play. We were talking about linking play just during the break. And this is Brianna Tarrant. Was trying to find the option in Kelly Thompson. Still moving the ball forward here, the Casey Demons. Harasumiak had the football. Now they come inboard, taking the mark Megan Fitzsimmons. Now on the right boot, pulls it at the last moment. It works out okay, and she finds the former Melbourne and North Melbourne AFLW footballer recruited out of Burnie in Emma Humphreys, Elise Collette.
Yeah, that was great work there from Casey, just to work it out on the outer side of the wing there and to bring it inboard. And good to see Emma Humphreys getting another chance. She didn't quite get much of a go at AFLW level, so maybe she'll be able to prove herself with the Demons.
In comes Emma Humphreys with a slow approach. She'll be kicking from 40 metres out, directly in front. Good leg on the kick, the accuracy not there. Out of bounds on the full, hitting the point post, and that will mean a free kick in the back pocket going the way of Ali Bild, who is the captain this year for Carlton. Here's Lauren Borden.
So Ellie Bild looks to take it out here. She's got a few options running forward, but she looks like she's going to go to her left, but instead, no. She'll go straight down the line and try and send a clear and kick out there. Sends it to the pack, though. A few of her teammates at the front trying to get her hands on there was Ingram, but instead it's taken by Casey, and she's taken in the back, so getting the free kick now here is Fallows. So very quickly, Casey have been able to tear that ball back their way, and Fallows will have the ball about 45 metres out from goal. Looks like she's looking for a teammate though, and sends a nice little kick towards it. The bounce favours Nottingham, and she's able to bring the ball over the line and it'll be a throw in Casey's pocket. So in will be the ball coming into the middle here. Looking for a bit of play there is Zampaglione. She gets a fingertip on that, but can't quite gain control of it. Instead, it'll go again into the hands of Fallows, who's had plenty of the ball in the last minute. She's still in the mix there, and she tackles up her Carlton opponent, and she'll force yet another ball up. But no, the non-officiating umpire has called high. So getting the ball is Fallows again. So she'll have another chance here to line up. She might feel this is more her distance here and something that she can make. So she'll only kick the ball from about 20 or so metres here on a slight angle. And so she'll line up and look to take the kick herself from this free and get Casey's first major of the day and also the game's first major. And she puts it onto the boot, it sails up, and it'll go straight through the middle with a celebration to match. Her teammates get around her, and here's the goal. Sensational scenes. And it'll be now, she's not just kicked the goal, but she's also put her team 1-1 in front. So they're leading Carlton here at IKON Park 1-1 to no score.
A great kick from Fellows there, and it was good work from Casey to be able to lock it in their 50 when it looked like Carlton were going to be able to get it out of their defensive 50 there.
Talia Fellows kicking the first goal of the Casey Demons VFLW season. As the umpire has the ball and throws it high in the air, and away we go again in the middle of the ground. 7-0 Casey's way. Lawrence off the back of the pack, couldn't quite handle it, and now Johnson takes it away here for the Demons. Taking it off the pack there is Tarrant. Tarrant tries to spin around, put it on the right boot. Straight down the throat there, Jennifer Liu. Liu now on the right boot, switching towards the opposite back pocket. Winnie Lane got a task with Humphrey on her hammer. Decided to go backwards, no 15, said the umpire. You must play on. Gets on the right boot, now trying to find up a target there in Ingram. Does well, gets it towards centre wing, came off hands. Kleveski comes in under the hammer here of Karras. Karras brought us to ground, and the umpire says you are Geo-Any gone. Free kick for the Casey Demons. Maggie Karras with the football. One of the Melbourne AFLW listed players playing for Casey today. Goes up the line, trying to stand tall underneath it. Ingram had pressure from behind. Big tackle coming on there for the Casey Demons. I think it was Fallows in there, and the umpire said one of the players have just hit their head on the ground a little hard. And is that Ali Bill, the captain? I'll just put the binoculars on at the moment. The physio just in the way, but we might have a concussion here. Of course, I believe, if I'm correct, the VFLW rules are the same as the AFL with concussion, that if you failed the concussion test, that you are having to sit it out for 12 days. One of those players, of course, with that rule, interesting, was Kate McCarthy, who passed the concussion test last week for the Saints, went back on the field, and then they did a concussion test later on the week, and they said it was delayed concussion, so obviously that's why she's missing this week. And it's Ali Bild, yes, the captain of Carlton, that is looking a little worse for wear, shaking her head, and no doubt they'll be going through all those protocols. At the moment, it's Casey 117, Carlton no score here on WARFradio.com and the VFLW stream. Again, making her debut today, here's Lauren Borden.
So as Bill's safely making her way to the sidelines, the umpire will just watch just to make sure she's off the ground and out of harm's way in the arms of trainers, and then he'll look to get play restarted. And off we go. So up comes the ball. Going up in there for Casey is Karras. She's not able to get the ball to her side's advantage straight away, but she goes back in there with a second effort and gets it herself. And it's the Blues, though, who are able to manage to get a touch there is Peterson. She also can't quite get control of it, and the ball falls to ground. She's in and amongst it still. Everyone's on the ground here, and no one can quite gain control, and that's what the umpire sees as well. So he runs in and gets set up for another ball up. And he'll go again, not far from where we restarted play. And it'll be a holding call going Carlton's way. So they'll look now to go forward. They're still deep in Casey's attacking half. So looking for the plays, but out there's too many Casey plays to get it around. Nice quick movement there from Hale. She's quickly able to get it to her team's advantage. Running onto it now is Kirkwood. She looked to be in first position to get the ball there, and she just gets some hands onto it and quickly gets it away to a teammate. They've got some space here if they can find it. Looking to do that is Buchan. She sends it though and finds the Carlton player that's on a 2v1. and the ball again on the ground. Everyone trying to get a hand to it. It's Casey. They're very good at getting the ball in and amongst it and getting first use of it outside of Paxton on the ground. And they tie up their Carlton opponent when they are able to get the ball to ensure it's another throw up.
Should mention a score from earlier today. As we said, Port Melbourne beating North Melbourne by 33 points. Collingwood 7-2-44 beat Geelong by 2 points, 6-6-42 down at Deakin University, Warren Ponds. The Blues are going to come out of their back 50 here with a long kick towards the centre wing position. Plenty of Casey players back there, and they're just going to send it back from whence it came, trying to put it into the path there of Harasimiuk, but because it bounced and went over the boundary line without anyone touching it, the last disposal rule comes into play, which means it is a free kick going the way of Carlton, just outside the 50-metre arc, and the option is to try and go short. Didn't quite stick as they were trying to find Marnie Jarvis. Getting spun around, Klingbeil goes for the hand pass, also running through heavy traffic. Gurr couldn't pick it up. And laying in the tackle there, Klaveski, and we'll call for a ball up. Let's get some thoughts from Elise Collette.
Another interesting coaching decision I've noticed from Casey today is that the number one ruck is the younger Karras instead of the more experienced at this level in Bridie Winbank. So maybe that's a case of the coaches, the AFLW coaches at the D's insisting that she's the number one ruck and gets more game time over Winbanks, who's not AFLW listed, but yeah, it's an interesting call nonetheless.
Exactly, so we'll watch how she goes as again the ball goes up and yet another throw up for the day. Getting first use of that is Buchan. She's able to send it high and quite high, and taking the mark there, quite strong eyes to see that is Jarvis, and she gets going quite quickly. A nice little 20-metre kick there to her teammate who swings around there in lane, and she gets it across to Ware, who puts it on the boot, but it'll go out of bounds on the full, straight into the hands of Casey, and taking it there looks to be Simmons.
Isabella Simmons with the football. On the northern side of the ground, kicks it long down the line, came off hands and now waiting out the back to take it, Brianna Tarrant. Tarrant tries to pull the kick at the last moment, went straight through the legs there of Imogen Milford, and they'll have the Blues switch it across towards their centre back position. Ingram was trying to find Zempak Leone, couldn't find her. Instead, coming through here is Samantha Johnson. Now gets it across to Tarrant. Tarrant now works it inboard to Lauren McGee. McGee quickly by hand, finding Kelly Thompson, finding an open goal square, not finding the accuracy. It is away to the left-hand side for a minor score. 1-8 Casey Demons. Carlton yet to score here on WARFradio.com and the VFLW live stream for our match of the day. And Carlton are trying to come out of the back line. They're making a bit of a mess of this. Zampak Leone is now under all kinds of pressure from Kirkwood. Manages to work it out to Jennifer Liu, who played in the inaugural AFL Women's Exhibition match back in 2013. Spotted up her target between half-back and the wing in Klingbeil. Klingbeil comes in towards the centre of the ground. Taken away here with a kick by Eliza Wood. And just like Firewood, she went long, but only as far as centre-half forward. Now centre-half back for the Casey Demons. It was sent back from Nicole Hales, a premiership co-captain with Collingwood back in 2019. Going long for Thompson. Thompson got a player on a hammer, got a swing around on the left. Thompson comes in board, trying to find Maggie Karras. Ball got away from her. All of a sudden, they're under pressure here in the back line here, the Blues, trying to fire out the hand pass to Deacon Brett, now managing to use Jasmine Ware. Ware was trying to find Hammonds, missed out in getting her, and it's a Casey intercept, and that with it is Kelly Thompson again. Thompson comes in, board pressure from behind by Fitzsimmons, who crashed the pack. Ball hit the ground. Emma Humphreys is here. Humphreys went straight ahead, then went to the right, hand passed it almost to herself, then the kick out of mid-air. That was ambitious from Kelly Thompson. McGee tried to put it on the boot to ball, didn't work out successfully enough. They have another crack at it, lacks a fortune, and bursting out onto the open space is Brianna Tarrant, and she'll take the football from 25 metres out, slight angle. Elise Collette.
Yeah, great strong mark there from Tarrant, and I think I'd back her from here. Angle shouldn't be an issue, but distance might get her here in the end.
I love the constants. I think I'll back her from here. Coming in, Brianna Tarrant. 30 metres out when she puts boot to ball, and she liked it as soon as it left the boot. And the Casey Demons extend their lead. They're 2-1-13. Carlton, no score here on WARFradio.com and the VFLW live stream. And just a quick reminder, the VFLW live stream tomorrow will have Williamstown and Darebin out at La Trobe University starting from about 11:30 a.m. Again, thoughts from Elise Collette.
I should have been more confident on my prediction there, Pete. Yeah, easy as from Tarrant, and might have to call you Nostradamus there, Lauren, because they're running away with it a bit here.
They are starting to get a little bit of run and looking to assert their dominance here. And they're doing exactly that, and now starting to put the pressure on the scoreboard as they look to go and do that again in the midfield. There is a bit of a tight tussle here, and it'll be in the balls, in the hands of Ingram when the ball gets called for a ball up. So going up again here, we've got Mangan there for Carlton trying to get the tap out, but she's unable to do so. So it'll be Casey who again able to take it out of the middle. Beautiful run there from Fitzsimmons, who's able to give her side a little bit of use here. And 2-3 Casey players around the ball. Looks like they're starting to outnumber Carlton on the field at the moment. Getting inside 50 there is West. She goes for a teammate, goes straight up. Can't quite get her hands there. A bit of pressure there from Lou, which just caused her opponent not able to take the mark, with the ball still deep inside Casey's forward 50. They've still got a chance here, and they've got plenty of numbers around the ball, but Carlton doing their best to put the pressure on. A long high ball up. Looking to take the mark from Carlton was Peterson. She couldn't quite grab it, but her teammate's able to get it. It's brought to ground. Still dangerous here, but Peterson will try and bring it out, and she's got a little bit of space here. Quite a short kick and a dangerous kick. And the ball instead is intercepted and taken by McGee. So she'll give Casey an opportunity now to score a goal after cutting off Carlton there, and she gives off the short hand pass there to Fitzsimmons. Fitzsimmons can't get the ball, can't make the distance, and instead it'll be Nottingham there who's able to clean it up, and she tries to get the ball across to her teammate in build, but it's a little bit of a rolling the ball over the line there. And instead it'll be a throw in. So Casey again with another opportunity.
I should correct the score, 2-2-14. We're actually on the side of the ground where the scoreboard is, so we can't see the scoreboard from our broadcast position, but I've double-checked the VFL Match Centre, which has 2-2-14 Casey Demons Carlton. No score, apologies there. As the umpire has blown the whistle and said, guess what, Casey football, and that means it's in the hands of Megan Fitzsimmons, no S on the end. She'll be having a shot on goal from about 45 metres out, 45-degree angle, going towards the Lygon Street end, or eastern end of the ground, as she has the slow approach. Comes in on the right boot. It is away to the right and out of bounds on the full. So free kick going the way of the Blues. Hello to one of our founding callers, Daniel Hill, who's listening in. He tried to give me directions on where Royal Parade is, saying it's behind me, not the goals end. No, you goose. It's at the goals end, the Royal Parade. I should know it. We take the tram in. As it's taken away by a long kick by the Blues out towards the half-back flank city side of the ground, sent back from whence it came by Samantha Johnson, and it will just clear the pack and it will bounce to the right-hand side of the right goalpost, and that will register as a minus score, and that sends them now to 2-3-15 for the Casey Demons. The Blues yet to score as Jasmine Liu makes a bit of mess of that, and it goes out of bounds.
So Bill took that kick out there, so it looks like she's okay, and she obviously hasn't been deemed to have concussion and has been allowed back onto the ground, so that's great to see that she'll have the opportunity to keep leading her side and try and get them out of a bit of a sticky mess that they're in right now, as the ball gets thrown in and goes straight into the hands of Karras, who gets it across to her teammate, who tries to find the hands of Milford, but she can't quite get it, so it's rushed through for a behind, and Carlton looks to play on here. They're not taking any time. Lou just gets it. She's trying to catch her opponents off ground. She sends it straight out of the 50, looking for the hands of Klingbeil, who's not able to cling onto it, and instead it'll be Casey's ball. Just putting onto the boot there is Humphries. Not a clean kick, but it rolls along inside the 50 nonetheless, as West gets her hands on it again. She's trying to, get it forward a little bit, but it'll go along the ground, still staying in the hands of Casey players. Every time it falls along the ground is picked up, but this time there's a bit of a traffic jam here, and it's Carlton again at the bottom there, and the umpire will come in and try and break it up with a ball up.
So he looks around, make sure everyone's in position. No density rule, by the way, this year for those that have joined us. That has been scrapped, but we now play 16-a-side instead of 18-a-side in the VFLW. Straight up and straight down. We'll call for another ball up, but we still have the 5-6-5. including how the game was held up for 30 seconds because of that at Arden Street Oval, which is not great when you play 20 minutes with no time on, as trying to get it out there was Eliza West. Did she throw it one hand? Yes, the umpire agreed. And free kick going the way of Carlton. They'll have it now at true centre half back. Klingbeil with it goes towards the city side of the ground, towards the wing. They'll take it and they'll kick it long towards the centre. Crunch! I think it was Klebeski was in the middle of that sandwich. Ball hit the deck. Trudgeon is there. Put on the right boot. No one to go to inside 50. It is a foot race. Zampak Leone's going to be first to it. Got two on her hammer. Overran the football at the end of the day. Oh dear. Tegan Brett now has it. And she gets quickly caught, and the umpire says she's going nowhere and will call for a ball up. Jeez, I don't know. Elise, I thought that was a missed opportunity.
Yeah, definitely a missed opportunity there. But correct me if I'm wrong, but is this Carlton's first inside 50 of the quarter?
That could be right.
I think you might be right. Zampaglione overran that opportunity there, which could have been their chance to get on the board, but they'll hold it up a little bit here. There's about a minute and a half left on the clock for this first half. So the ball goes up, running into it is Carlton's ruck, who's able to get hands to it, but again, it's Casey who gets use of it. But running onto it from Carlton is Peterson. She swings the ball to the left there, and it gets further away from her side's goals and closer than what she was aiming for. A little bit of a push in the back there, but the umpire doesn't deem it so. So again, it'll be in dispute a little bit here as both teams try to gain control. Casey's able to get a bit of a hand pass off here and try and get it clearing out. She's got a few teammates here. Nearly a mark there to Nottingham as she tries to get Carlton an opportunity, but it's 2v1, so she's outnumbered there. And Casey able to grab it. Out there is Milford doing her best for the Demons as they just get it into their forward 50. But the Blues look here, they look set to use their strong defence to get the ball out a little bit. But the ball's held out and held up, and the umpire will come in and throw the ball on the 50 here for Casey.
Umpire will reset play. Carlton crowd a little bit restless at the moment. They want to see some goals on the scoreboard from their side. They trail at the moment by 16 points and still donuts at the moment on the scoreboard, which is not a good look as Beard gets put into the ground. We'll reset play again, 48 metres out from the Carlton goal. Carlton, of course, in the AFLW tonight, play the North Melbourne Tasmanian Kangaroos down in Launceston. That's on free-to-air TV as well. They've got 7, mate, if you want to tune in and check that out. Zampaglione takes the ball out of the ruck contest this time around, pumps it long in towards the middle of the ground, only to be intercepted by Meg McDonald. McDonald goes for a little cheeky hand pass. Sending it long there was Kendall. Managing to find Thompson as the siren sounds to indicate half-time here at IKON Park, and it is all the KC Demons. It's not a big lead, but in the context of this game, it's a pretty handy lead at the moment. 2-4-16 to Carlton, no score. Goal kickers so far, Talia Fellows and Brianna Tarrant for the KC Demons. Elise Collette, let's get some of your thoughts here on this first half. Disappointing for Carlton that second term. Really found themselves essentially stuck in their back half of the field.
Yeah, absolutely. And if my calculation is correct, that last forward 50 of theirs was their only one of the quarter, and only real opportunity they've had for quite a while. But might have to start calling Lauren Nostradamus there, because Casey just ran away with it a bit in that second quarter. They had plenty of the ball, plenty of scoring opportunities. They were able to create space and options for each other, and it's reflecting on the scoreboard.
It could have been a bit of a beginner's luck there with the guess there, but no, they certainly looked quite strong in the first quarter, and then they were able to put that on the scoreboard a little bit with their 2-2 in this term. I think they just looked more polished, more composed, and obviously Carlton have a very good defence that we showed there, but I mean, we didn't hear much. We didn't call the names of Lang as much or Trudgeon, and obviously they're the forwards for Carlton, so it kind of showed that the ball wasn't down their end at all, and then it was just Zampaglioni's chance when it ran to the 50 when she ran onto it, and she wasn't able to get that on the scoreboard, so that was probably one of their major chances in this whole first half to get on the scoreboard.
And the added pleasing thing for Casey is they're not relying on their AFLW listed girls. Yeah, sure, Simmons, Karras, McGee have all had plenty of the ball, but so have the likes of Samantha Johnson, Thompson, McDonald as well, who aren't AFLW listed players. So, which is a good thing for them heading into the future, because they're not going to know week to week who the Melbourne listed girls are that they're going to have at their disposal, so they can't rely on them every week.
Absolutely. And I tell you what, when Casey lost by 3 points to Port Melbourne last week in the practice game, that raised a few concerns going, well, Port Melbourne's a new side, what does it mean? Now that we have this first round, we've seen Port Melbourne, the couple win over North, and now we see Casey with this lead over Carlton. We can start to put things into context, and we go, look, Casey is looking balanced. They're looking like a good side. They're looking like a threat this year for the top six. For Carlton at the moment, I think the frustrating thing is how it's breaking down. You can see what they're trying to do.
Yeah.
You can see how they want the link up. It's just that they're not able to action it at the moment. They've got that breakdown. Either sometimes it's happening right on the half-back flank, which is more alarming, but at other times it's happening there at the centre wing. They're starting to do the right things. They're starting to play to this game plan, but maybe it's just a case of it's a young side that they're unable to execute it.
And they're getting plenty of the ball. There was, I think Jarvis was getting tied up quite a few times, definitely getting to the ball and but they're getting it without space, and they're getting it without an opportunity.
They try a couple of times. They tried to take the risk of switching into the middle of the ground, but again, it came down just to that final execution of just nailing that kick to the correct lead, and they're just a bit off, and Casey is playing to this this person to person at the moment. They're just matching up very nicely and giving the Carlton players very little room to move.
Yeah, absolutely. I think what Carlton might have to do, particularly trying to get out of their back 50, is just go quicker and try and get Casey off guard. Catch them off guard a bit. Because if they're able to find that player that's free and get the space, they can get a good run on. But yeah, if they give Casey too much time, Casey are able to get back, mark up, and just deny any options for Carlton.
Just having a quick look at around the grounds again. As we mentioned earlier, Collingwood 7-2-44 defeated Geelong 6-6-42 at Deakin University. What will be pleasing for Geelong fans is Olivia Barber kicked 3 goals in that game, so that's technically more than her AFLW team, but she'll be stating the case that she shouldn't have been dropped and she wants back in, so keep an eye out for that, Geelong fans. For Collingwood, Imogen Barnett kicked 3 goals for them in their victory by 2 points. And for those that didn't tune into the earlier game that we brought you between 9 and 12, Port Melbourne 8-7-55 defeating North Melbourne 3-4-22. Christina Bernardi, Richmond listed player playing with Port Melbourne, kicked 3 goals in that one. We'll take an opportunity to take a break. When we return, we'll have for you the second half of the Casey Demons taking on Carlton. It's Casey 2-4-16 leading Carlton, no score.
Hey guys, I'm Jess. And I'm Lisa from the Veronicas for RAD. Recording artists, actors and athletes against drink driving. What does it mean to be a designated driver? It means you're the friend who's agreed not to drink, not the person who's had the least to drink. It's cool to do and it shows you care about your friends. If you screw up just once, then your life changes forever. Face it, their lives are in your hands. So why don't you and your friends take it in turns to be the designated driver when you go out? You'll make the road safer for all of us.
They're my grandkids. Gee, they can make some noise. But you know what? It's a beautiful sound because they're alive and having fun. The sound I hate is silence in the pool. When a child drowns, you hear nothing. No splashing, no cries for help. Be vigilant around water. Fence the pool, shut the gate. I teach you. Supervise, watch your mate, and learn how to resuscitate. I'm Laurie Lawrence. Kids Alive, do the 5.
Been playing for a while. Sweet kicks. 'Cause footy makes you smile. Sweet kicks football. If you're getting ready for the trials, gotta go the extra mile. Sweet kicks football.
News. More info on our Facebook page or go to our website, sweetkicksfootballacademy.com.au.
Gotta go the extra mile. Sweet Kicks Football.
Hey Gary, what time you call this? Yeah, the traffic was really bad. Oh, there's Steve-o. G'day, Steve. Morning. How's your weekend? Same old, same old. What'd you get up to? Not much. Are you okay, mate?
Looking out for one another is something we all need to do. So if a mate's struggling, ask, are you okay? Listen, encourage action, and check in again soon. Those 4 steps could change their life. Find out more at ruok.org.au.
How often should you wash your hands?
Maybe around 9 times a day. 4?
Like 20?
Maybe twice a day.
Whenever they feel dirty.
When should you wash your hands?
After you touch some raw meat and before starting to eat. At the beginning, I wash my hands before preparing food.
How would you rate your knowledge of food safety?
Probably like an 8 out of 10.
6 or 7. 7.5?
Learn more at foodsafety.asn.au/food safety training. Food safety, it's in your hands.
If you've had something stolen,
Or if you've had property damaged, you need the police, not the sirens.
If you've lost something or found something valuable,
or if you want to register a party or let us know you're going away on holiday, you need the police, not the sirens.
When you need the police, but not the sirens, you can now report these incidents online at police.vic.gov.au or call 131 444.
Authorised by the Victorian Government, Melbourne.
Hi, Matt Welsh here. In Australia, drowning is one of the biggest killers of kids under 5. So take a few minutes to check your pool barrier set for this summer. Visit kidsafe.com.au to find out how. Because safe barriers save lives.
There's jumpers, hoodies, and tees for you at leaguetees.com.au.
Leaguetees.com.au is your place for retro footy gear with designs created by local artists that you won't find anywhere else. Plus, their unique range of women's footy tees help raise funds for Indigenous literacy programs. Get online and start shopping today.
leaguetees.com.au.
We are the Australian Literacy and Numeracy Foundation, striving to empower our most marginalised communities through literacy and education. Literacy is having a voice. Literacy is opportunity. Literacy is dreaming big. Literacy is freedom. Today, you can help end inequality and give every child access to our life-changing and proven literacy programs. Your support is vital. Donate now at alnf.org.
Draft Central is entering a new era, covering all the state leagues from the VFLW, SANFL-W, WAFL-W and QAFL-W, as well as their primary focus, the NAB League Girls. Draft Central has you covered when it comes to all you need to know about the future stars of the AFL Women's. Draft Central, brought to you by Rookie Me, is now on YouTube, so be sure to subscribe at Draft Central, as well as on our Facebook, Twitter and Instagram pages at Draft Central Oz.
Could you recognise if one of your friends or family was having a stroke? Think fast.
F. Face.
Check their face. Has their mouth drooped?
A. Arms.
Can they lift both arms?
S. Speech.
Is their speech slurred or confused?
T. Time.
Don't wait. Call 000 now. Think fast. Act fast.
A message from the National Stroke Foundation.
A tough time doesn't excuse abusive behaviour at home. Even in crisis, there's no place for domestic or family violence. If you, your family or community is affected, help is available online and by phone 24/7. For free, confidential advice, support and counselling for everyone, contact 1-800-RESPECT. There's no place for domestic or family violence. Help is here. Authorised by the Australian Government, Canberra.
It's women's Aussie rules. They're doing what they love. They're fast, they're tough. Don't mess with them because they can get rough. Are you ready for the match? It's the call of the game. It's the VFL Women's Match of the Day. It's the VFL Women's Match of the Day.
WARFradio.com and via the VFLW stream. You are listening to the VFL Women's Match of the Day. Peter Holden, Lauren Borden and Elise Collette with you here for the second of our doubleheader on WARFradio.com and the first of the VFLW live streams for the year. Just to also let you know that there are two games tomorrow. WARF Radio is radio coverage. We are doing the Western Bulldogs and Hawthorn out at VU Whitten Oval. We have the pre-game going for 1 hour. We hope to have Sean Kavanagh on as coach of Western Bulldogs to chat with him and hopefully someone from the Hawthorn coaching staff as well. We haven't got it locked in. Perhaps Beck Goddard or one of her assistants, including Christina Politaco, who was an assistant here at Carlton for 2020, was going to help prepare them for that season. But, of course, as we know, 2020 didn't happen due to COVID-19, but she is now over at Hawthorn as an assistant coach there. Again, Bulldogs and Hawthorn, 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. And for the video stream, courtesy of the VFLW via their YouTube channel, which if you follow at VFL on Twitter, they'll tweet the details tomorrow morning for that. 11:30 a.m. Darebin versus Williamstown at La Trobe University in Bundoora. Current score here at halftime, Casey 2-4-16 lead Carlton, no score. I guess, Elise Collette, I have to ask you the question, what can Carlton do from here? We've identified the problem. We've identified that there is that breakdown happening between the half-back and centre and linking up. What can they do going forward, or who needs to step up to try and help get them into this game? Because, let's be honest, 16 points, it's not a big margin. 3 goals in a quarter and they're back in front.
Yeah, it's an interesting one. Honestly, I think if they can get it out of their defence quicker, catch Casey on the hop, off guard, whatever cliche you want to use, and just find that added bit of space, that might lead to something. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see what happens and if they can lift.
To Lauren Borden, the Casey Demons, it's a weird way of being impressive but not being impressive on the scoreboard, if that makes sense. 2-4-16, the control of the game that they've had, you would suggest they probably should have somewhere maybe around a 4-goal lead. For them, again, they were a bit scrappy. We saw that in the first quarter, was, put a two in it at quarter time. For the Casey Demons, can they clean it up a little more? Can they put the foot down and just run away with it?
That's true, because they've certainly held control of the game basically from its outset, and they've looked like the team that'll run away with it and win. But it's just that case of putting it on the scoreboard, and that's something, I guess, credit to Carlton for being able to hold off those scoring opportunities, because it's not like, I think we had Casey kicked 1 or 2 out on the full, or sorry, I think 1 was rushed behind and 1 shot might have been out on the full. So it's not like they've had many more opportunities than the 2 goals for that they've scored. So if they can put their foot down a little bit here and, maybe probably, what have they kicked 2 goals for? If they can kick, 3-4 goals for, during the quarter or for the remainder of the match, it might send a little bit of a message to the competition that they're someone that can close out games strongly, and they can put what they've been putting into practice in this first half and put it on the scoreboard.
What I do actually find funny is all the players were already in position. They were just waiting for the umpires to come out into the ground, which is normally the opposite scenario. The umpires are waiting for one of the sides to come out and hurry up, let's get going. Every player was in position nice and early. It's like, oh, yeah, where's the umpires? The umpires, of course, are on time, but it was just a case of, the players were a bit keen and eager to get going. So we're just about ready to get underway here for the third term. WARFradio.com. Of course, you can also find our podcast there, our main Women's Australian Rules Football Radio podcast, the VFL Women's Footy Report, WAFL Women's Footy Report, NTFL Women's Footy Report, Coach versus Coach, the Lowdown with Luana Williams, and also the She Plays .com.au AFLW Fantasy Football Podcast, all on the podcast page at WARFradio.com. As the umpire just makes sure that the goal umpires are back in position, the flags are in, holds the football aloft, and we are away for third term football at IKON Park. And the tap out won by that occasion by Kolevsky there for the Blues. Try to move it forward into heavy traffic. Coming through is Lawrence. This is looking better straight down the corridor. Swung around the right boot. Klingbeil got it. Oh, here comes trouble. McDonald nailed her. And the umpire says holding the football, free kick going the way of the Casey Demons. They have it 30 out from their own defensive goal. They go to swing it towards the back pocket. A little bit wide for Kendall to mark, and she does so. Now moves it up towards the city side of the ground. Humphreys there for support. Gets on the right boot, swings it around towards centre wing, city side of the ground. Thompson is there for the Casey Demons, if needed. Jen Liu wants to get in for Carlton. Traffic jam of players. Umpire looked at blowing the whistle and thought, no, I'll let it come out. It was probably the smartest decision in the end as Samantha Johnson, the Casey Demons captain, got it, went up the line looking for a teammate who popped out of her hands. I think it might have been McGee because I saw the red hair. Now kicking it up the line for the Blues, taking it in the Brett basket there, Tegan Brett. Tegan Brett has the football, looked to go to the right and then thought, no, I'll go straight up the guts. That's the way to go. Finds Winnie Lang. Lang with the football. She is 55 metres out from home. Right half forward flank, kicks it inside 50 and the mark sticks for Paige Trudgeon. She takes it 30 metres out, 45-degree angle. Match analyst Elise Collette.
Yeah, this is looking better from Carlton so far. They're able to find the open player, find the space, and hopefully they can convert and finally get a score on the board here.
In she comes on the right boot, and she has got the Blue Baggers first of 2021. Paige Trudgeon gets them on the scoreboard. They're 1 straight 6. Casey 2-4-16. Elise Collette, that is the start the Blues needed.
Absolutely, and they're looking much better with the ball there. And I don't know what's happened to Casey, but I think they've got a bad case of butterfingers. I don't know if it was the same player or two different players, but there were 2 potential marks and they could have gone forward and done really well, but they dropped what should have been.
We don't know what Luke O'Shaughnessy said at halftime, but it seems to have worked and it's got his team up and about.
I wonder if there was any advice from Daniel Harford last week about getting said head in said game, minus the expletives.
Well, it worked, whatever it was. So they'll go again here, but it's Casey who's able to take it straight out of the middle and send it forward. Bit of the gaining control there was Buchan. She's able to get it across, and as they move the ball inside their 50, looking to make amends for that goal there is Taryn, and put Casey back into the lead and give them a little bit of a buffer here, setting the ball high, but a nice little touch there from Lou, but it doesn't matter because it's gone straight into the hands of Milford, but it's touched over the line. A nice little prime chance to get a goal there in the goal square, but she's not able to get the 6 points for it, and it'll just be 1.
Great defensive pressure there from the Blues on the last line.
2-5-17, Casey 1 straight 6 for Carlton. As the kick in from full back is very close to the boundary line because it was touched.
She kicked it straight onto the mark, man on the mark there. Speaking of good defensive pressure.
Thank you, and apologies. I just looked down for one moment, then looked straight back up and just missed that. So we have the ball to be thrown back into play. As taking it straight out of the rack. Oh, no, Kalevsky. Oh, in fact, he must have been caught for too high, because I was thinking of then the old Rockwood where the ball got thrown. If you take it straight out of the rack and you get immediately caught, that's holding the ball. But must have been caught high or pushed in the back or something. That got the resulting free kick, and she kicked it outside 50 towards the half-back flank. Ball's on the ground, fighting it hard for it. Winnie Lang along with Grace Buchan. How do you get to Buchan? On the Buchan bus as it's all locked in and the umpire's going to call for a ball up, and we'll quickly restart play. Ball gets punched inside 50 for the Casey Demons. Arasimiak had it there, tried to get it going forward, but the Blues will take it away through Hammonds. Hammonds goes towards the one-on-one, and I think it's McGee. Lauren McGee, the Irishwoman, kicks it inside 50. He came off hands. The umpire spotted something off the ball and says that will be a free kick to Megan Fitzsimmons. And she will have it from about 40 metres out on a 45-degree angle, going to the Royal Parade end here at IKON Park. With a slow approach, very close to player on the mark, so she will kick high with this ball, and it will fall short at the top of the goal square. Got at the back, they had no one there to be able to go for the snap. The Blues tried to clear it hurriedly. I think Mike Micheletti back there. Now in dispute is Fairchild trying to get in there for the Casey Demons. Fairchild had another crack. Umpire spotted a too high and said that's a free kick going to Charlotte Hammond of the Blues, and she will have the opportunity to try and clear.
So she drops the ball a little bit, but is able to recollect it and and goes for a run this time. Anyway, he gets it on the right boot. Bit better looking kick there, but it goes over the head of Kalevsky, so she can't grab it. But Lang's in there to try and clean it up for the Blues, but it's to no avail as Buchan gets her hands on the ball and sends it to a 2v1, but her teammate's not able to make the most of that. So it's Carlton who's trying to weave their way out of this, but it's not looking good for them at the moment, as picking it up straight out of there is Thompson, who plucks it out and puts it on the right boot. But it's wide, but she'll still register a behind for her side here. So it's Casey now, 2-6-18, leading Carlton just the 1 point as they get the ball moving a little bit faster. They're trying to go as fast as possible, and it looks like it's Lou who takes a bounce. Her kick isn't quite the best that she's done today, but it rolls a little bit. Her side's got a chance here, but it looks like it might be Casey that's able to make the most of it. The ball's still rolling along a little bit in the ground, in dispute here. It's on the ground and it's wrapped up and covered, and it'll be the umpire coming here now to throw a ball up.
We'll reset play just near the NAB logo as we throw the ball up in the air, and away we go again, doing the ruck work there for the Casey Demons. Maggie Karras, they got falconed in fact out of that contest. Lawrence goes for the hand pass sideways. Charlotte Hammonds swings it around towards the half forward flank city side of the ground. Ball stops before it can go over the boundary line. Picked up there in the end by Kendall, was under pressure from Klingbeil. Klingbeil's now got it and put it on the right, but it was an awkward looking kick close to the boundary line. It will not be seen over. It just manages to stay in as the Casey player went down holding their leg behind play. A quick snap on goal is away for a minus score, and that will go to 117 for Carlton. Casey Demons 2-6-18. That player hobbling behind play I'll keep an eye on. Lauren Borden.
So as we start here, Casey's got quite a few players calling for it on the broadcast side of the ground. Just trying to keep it in there is Thompson, but it's touched over the line, and it'll be a throw in.
Nicole Hales is the player. Seems to have rolled her right ankle, but she is now trying to shake it off and get running again, and told the trainers, look, I'll be fine.
So she'll try and join play here. Coming up there and trying to grab the ball straight out of the ruck there was Kalevsky. She can't quite do that, so instead it'll be Casey who's able to get a run on here. Beautiful work there from Fairchild, but instead her kick's gone straight to Lou, who's been very busy this quarter for Carlton. She sends it long, trying to get into the hands of Lawrence, who drops it, and it gets nearly into the hands of Casey here, trying to move it out there, but they can't quite get it out as cleanly as they would have liked, so instead it's Carlton who's able to get the ball, and it's Lang who tries to send it forward, but she's smothered, so now Casey again tries to get a run on here. They haven't got many players in their forward half. One of them, though, is Milford, and she's doing her best to get it forward, though. And there's a few players sprinting there. Down there's Thompson. She's doing her best to get into the 50 for any option, but there'll be a bit of a stoppage in play, and it'll be Carlton's free, and it'll go into the hands of Notman.
It looks like it was a too high tackle there.
Too high, so Notman will reset here. She's taking a little bit of time. She spots her teammate in Lang, but decides not to go to her. Instead, she wants to go long, and she goes straight up into the hands of Kirkwood, who can't quite hold on to it, but brings the ball to ground just to give her side an opportunity here. With hands on is Ingram, though, trying to give Carlton an advantage. In comes Zampaglione. But still, it's Casey who managed to be the team that can work this forward, just slowly edging it towards their half of the ground. The ball's right in the middle there. Lang gets her hands on it again and tries to aim for Lawrence. But coming over the top there is her opponent. I think it might be Kendall there.
Yeah, that is Kendall.
Kendall, who takes the mark. And she goes long down the middle of the ground. But instead it's just another turnover there, and in comes Lang for a third or fourth possession of the last 30 seconds. And she'll bang it on the boot here. And she gets it across to her teammate in Ware, who slows down and stops and looks for options inside 50. She's got a few short, but it looks like she's opting to go long. And she goes to the top of the 50. Running into it, though, is McGee, who just stops the flow of that ball as Casey get their hands on it again and send it long and wide towards their 50. It's a bit of a foot race here. Running onto it from Carlton is Build. But she's absolutely taken down there by Thompson. So it's a chance here for Casey to go inside, and running onto it is Fallows. Bit of pace there, sending it to a one-on-one contest, and able to win that one-on-one contest is Lou. So she'll look to clear it and switch it over, takes another bounce and puts it on the right boot to get it out of the 50. But it looks like a little bit of looked like the Casey player's got a bit of a hand on it, but it's no matter here because Carlton will keep going with the ball along the outer side of the ground, trying to bring it to their advantage. They've definitely upped their game in this second half here. So that's Trudgeon there, who just bellows the ball a little bit into the 50. It rolls along the ground, and as players try and gain possession of it here, and they're a little bit tied up, and it could be a throw up here. And it will be at the top of Carlton's 50.
Lauren, here's the oxygen. Breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, breathe out. You'll be fine as the ball is thrown up in the air, doing the ruck work there for the Casey Demons as windbags. Oh, but now the Blues with an opportunity. A bouncing, rolling football is a goal for the Blue Baggers. And by the look of it, I think it's Stephanie Lawrence who put that through.
What a kick.
That one from about 40 metres out from goal. And game on here at IKON Park. The Blues 2-1-13, Casey 2-6-18. Describe it, Elise Collette.
How do I describe it? It was a decent kick. Like, it looked like it might not have had the pace on it to quite make all the distance, but it did. Yeah, well done, Carlton, and as you said, game on.
And huge props to Jennifer Liu, who was the one who she took the inset mark and started to go on a run. Like you mentioned, Ali, it might be a chance of just going on a run. Don't try and do the kick mark, but go on a run. That's exactly what she started, and they were able to get a ball rolling through the goals there. So we'll go again here. Can Carlton make up this deficit here? It's not big anymore. It's just 13-18 here at IKON Park. So Casey will be looking now to go forward. It's a high free kick there to West, and she sends it
50 metre.
50 encroachment.
Yep.
So yeah, this could prove costly here for Carlton.
So West will now take it. She's just 25 metres out.
Safe to say the Carlton supporters are not happy in the grandstand below us.
So not very far out, slightest of angles. Probably backing West in here to kick it. Looks like it's swinging towards goals, but can't quite make it. So it's just the behind there. So it's 2-7-19, Casey leading Carlton 2-1-13.
Congratulations, you're now official member of the commentary fraternity. You've just put the commentator's moz on someone. They look like they're going to get it. No, they won't. Welcome to the club. As Jennifer Liu has the ball in the back pocket for the Blues, goes for a bit of a run before going long on the boot. And that is how you're supposed to kick a ball out of the back line. Long, direct, and with purpose. They got to show that in the tape at training to say that's how you do it. As they go towards the wing position, they were trying to find Brianna Gurr, was cut off by the Casey Demons. They're going to have another crack at it through Eliza West, who takes on the player on the mark, goes with an awkward hand pass to Emma Humphreys. Humphreys was the top of the square, 1-on-2, spoil from behind. Umpire says chopping the arms. Free kick going the way of the Casey Demons. Jennifer Liu, look at the umpire, not too happy about that, suggesting perhaps he should not have left home without his guide dog. And it will be a free kick going the way of Brianna Tarrant. And will be lining up directly in front from about 15 metres out. So for a chance to extend it to a 2-goal margin, currently 6 points the difference. Tarrant makes the goal umpire do a little bit of work, but it is between the two big sticks. And the Casey Demons now go to 3-7-25. Carlton 2-1-13 in the third term. Elise Collette.
Yeah, I was going to keep my mouth shut there in case the old commentator's curse came back, but I was definitely going to back Brenner in there. That's good distance, easy accuracy, and yeah, speaking of goal kickers, they seem to have inherited the curse the Melbourne AFLW girls had last week. 3-7 is not very accurate, and if they turned a few of those behinds were goals, we might have a very different game on our hands.
That is true. They could have had a little bit of scoreboard pressure on there, but nonetheless, Brianna Tarrant will be enjoying it with 2 goals for today. She might get an opportunity to get 1 or 2 more as we go along throughout this match. Still 6 minutes left in the term. So it'll be Casey trying to work their way into the goals, but instead it's cut off there by Jarvis, who's able to control the ball quite well. Carlton still can't get a handle on it, and instead it'll be Casey moving it forward via the hands of Johnson. Her teammates taken to ground there, and the ball's toing and froing, and no one can quite manage to get control of it and get the ball towards where they'd like to get it. And again, stoppages between the arcs here is something that we're seeing quite a lot of, but running through it looks to be West, who she sends it straight into the hands of her teammate in Tarrant.
Yeah, that's Tarrant again. Great work from Eliza West. She's been really good around the 50-metre line, just trying to bust through packs and create those options for her teammates.
So here's Tarrant going in for a 3rd goal of the day. She puts it on the right boot. And it's true again. So day, Brianna Tarrant. Her second in about a minute and a half here, both from set shots. So it's Casey, 4-7-31, now leading the Blues 2-1-13 after what we saw from the Blues was a fantastic start to the third term. We thought a comeback might have been on the cards.
Yeah, absolutely. They were looking really good there, Carlton, but momentum's a funny thing in football, and the momentum has definitely swung back into Casey's favour there, and it'll be interesting to see if they can build on that.
Umpire with the ball in the middle of the ground, making sure everyone is in correct position before he throws the ball up, and away we go again. One out there by Karras for the KC Demons, but it's a Blues ball out of the middle, only so far, as I think it was the player in Gur that got immediately brought to ground. Honeybun tries to fight in there, pops out to be a KC footy though, and Hales just pops it long towards the centre half forward position. Tarrant again, who's on fire this quarter, got it away to Fitzsimmons. Oh, clash of players. Umpire puts away the whistle, says nothing to see here. Goes for the short kick. Tarrant now trying to find Imogen Milford. Umpire comes in and says it will be a free kick going the way of the KC Demons and Imogen Milford. As we speak, two players, as we said, in a heavy collision at the centre half forward position are now both in the hands of trainers, and both... Now, I won't try and even comment on what body parts it is. I know that we're just looking at the lower legs there with the Casey player and the Carlton player. The trainers are all around, so we can't even guess. Having a shot on goal is Imogen Milford, and she'll be kicking from directly in front from 25 metres out. Milford sprays it. Now, will the umpire... Yeah, the umpire's going to hold up play here wisely.
Surprised he didn't do it earlier. Just
in case, it was
just to ensure that they are safe, and if they need to come off, they need to come off, because they could. Carlton could try and sprint it out here and crash straight into both players again.
Hobbling off the ground as she runs off is the player in number 9, Brianna Gur for Carlton, while the more serious concern requiring trainers to help her walk off the ground is the number 7, Monica Harasimiak for the KC Demons. So as we said, maybe a little bit more better news for Gur, because as much as she hobbled, she didn't need assistance, but Harasimiak at the moment certainly requiring the assistance of the trainers. As we said, ironically, the umpire put the whistle away when they all clashed heavily and said there was no free kick out of it. It just seems to be bad luck for both of those players in that contest.
As Lou brings the ball back into play here, she gets it just outside of the 50. Jumping onto that there was Thompson, though, he came from the back of the pack. She plays on and tries to find her teammate there. Has a bit of free space. Beautiful mark, just reaching a little bit back behind it, but holding on to it is Fairchild, so she'll have a shot here. 25 metres out, slight angle to try and just heap a little bit more scoreboard pressure on Carlton. She doesn't waste any time, but it goes to the right. So just to behind there, 4-9-33, Casey leading the Blues 2-1-13. They don't waste any time in Lou bringing it back in. That seems to be the way she's gone this quarter so far. So she gets the ball out, and it's her teammates who are able to hang on to it, but they don't look too convincing, and in sweeping in there is Simmons, who's able to just pull it back for Casey. She finds her teammate. It'll be another mark there and a chance for a shot at goal at Milford, but she opts to play on, push just as she kicks it. Getting her hands on it was Zampaglione, but the umpire blows his whistle, and it'll be holding, and it'll be Zampaglione's free in Collingwood's defensive 50.
Carlton's.
Carlton's.
Yeah. It looked like Milford wasn't she thought she'd marked it, but then the umpire must have yelled play on or something, because she didn't look quite certain.
Could be one of those new ads by saying Collingwood instead of Carlton should have gone to Specsavers. As the kick up the line, trying to find Klingbeil, got past her and over the boundary line and out of bounds. Because it came off hands, it is a throw in. Remember, it is a last disposal rule, not last touch rule, as many may confuse it with, between the arcs, as the ball is thrown back into play. Going up in the contest on that occasion was Pleveski, as the siren sounds. 3/4 time here on WARFradio.com and the VFLW live stream. And we have the KC Demons 4-9-33, Carlton 2-1-13. And Elise Collette, that's got to sting for Carlton, because we had that point, the halfway mark of the quarter, 5 points the difference. They were coming back and you thought, here we go. The Carlton are on, the game is on. And then it was a 50-metre penalty that brought it all undone, and then the momentum completely swung back Casey's way.
Yeah, absolutely. It was definitely a tale of two halves there, because Carlton were looking the goods early on. They were using their speed to their advantage, because they've got those quick players that can do it. But then, 50-metre, it's one of those things that is a momentum buster. That 150 goes against you, and then the floodgates open, which happened here for Casey, and they piled on the goals and extended the lead, and
So, plenty of goals there in the third term. I think Casey scoring opportunities are plenty after Carlton took that momentum at the start and had two goals, 5 they scored this quarter. So 7 scoring opportunities there. And obviously Carlton putting on the 2 goals, 1. So not played between the arcs like it was in the first half, like we saw. A lot more football played in the 50s.
Yeah, absolutely. And on Casey's scoring, 5 behinds for the quarter. Imagine if only 2 or 3 of those were goals. Yeah, we'd be talking about a very different game here.
Absolutely. Carlton came out of the blocks firing at half-time. As we said, that 50-metre penalty swung the momentum. The question is, can they find it again to start the final term? Because, again, 20 points is not a large margin to overcome. 4 goals, a goal every 5 minutes, and the game is yours. The question is, do they have the discipline and the skill to execute to bring that home?
Yeah, it's interesting. Yeah, 4 goals doesn't sound like much, but it's one of those things that's easier said than done. And if they can continue what they were able to produce in the first half of that third term they're in with a shot. But, if they can't, then, I think Casey will get over the line here.
We'll take a quick break. It's three-quarter time, here on our VFLW Match of the Day on WARFradio.com and the VFLW live stream.
Hi, this is Missy Higgins for RAD, recording artists, actors and athletes against drink driving. I see a lot of things at gigs, mostly people having a good time and a few drinks. But what I'd hate to see is someone getting behind the wheel after they'd been drinking. Being even a little bit over the limit makes it too easy to lose control. So if you plan to drink, plan ahead. Arrange a designated driver who won't drink. Remember, music lives and you should too.
A tough time doesn't excuse abusive behaviour at home. Even in crisis, there's no place for domestic or family violence. If you, your family or community is affected, help is available online and by phone 24/7. For free, confidential advice, support and counselling for everyone, contact 1-800-RESPECT. There's no place for domestic or family violence. Help is here. Authorised by the Australian Government, Canberra.
How often should you wash your hands?
Maybe around 9 times a day. 4?
Like 20?
Maybe twice a day.
Whenever they feel dirty.
When should you wash your hands?
After you touch some raw meat. And before starting to eat. At the beginning, I wash my hands before preparing food.
How would you rate your knowledge of food safety?
Probably like an 8 out of 10.
6 or 7.
7.5?
Learn more at foodsafety.asn.au/food safety training. Food safety, it's in your hands.
Draft Central is entering a new era, covering all the state leagues from the VFLW, SANFL-W, WAFL-W and QAFL-W, as well as their primary focus, the NAB League Girls. Draft Central has you covered when it comes to all you need to know about the future stars of the AFL Women's. Draft Central, brought to you by Rookie Me, is now on YouTube, so be sure to subscribe at Draft Central, as well as on our Facebook, Twitter and Instagram pages at Draft Central Oz.
Hi, Kirk Pengilly from InXS here. And whether it's music, sweet things, puppies, movies, we all love our treats. But our eyes need treating too. 300,000 Australians, including me, are affected by glaucoma. Diagnosed early, glaucoma can be managed. Left undiagnosed, it can cause blindness. So treat yourself by treating your eyes to a simple test. Book your test at treatyoureyes.org.au today.
WARFradio.com and the VFLW live stream. You are listening to the VFL Women's Match of the Day, our second of our double headers that we are doing today. Carlton trail at three-quarter time. They are 2-1-13. Casey Demons 4-9-33. For the Casey Demons, 3 goals to Brianna Tarrant, 1 to Talia Fellows, and 1 to Paige Trudgeon for the Carlton Blues. And who's the other goal kicker that I'm missing? It is. Sorry, I should turn your mic on. That usually helps, Lauren Borden.
I believe it's Steph Lawrence for Carlton.
Of course. I just forgot to jot that down there on my sheet. Peter Holden, Lauren Borden, and Elise Collette here with you. And, of course, tomorrow morning at 9 a.m, it will be a commentary team of myself, Paul Sebastiani, and Katie Lambeski out of VU Whitten Oval, 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. on WARFradio.com for the Bulldogs and Hawks. And for those that follow the VFL YouTube page, you'll be able to watch Williamstown and Darebin at Latrobe Uni from 11:30 a.m. Let's get us underway with Lauren Borden.
So to start the fourth term here, up goes the ball and trying to get hands on it was both rucks. Couldn't quite get it either way, and it's tied up here, and we'll have another ball up in the exact same spot that we had it 10 seconds ago. So looks like we'll have Karis again, the young ruckman, going up, trying to get first use of it for her side. She's able to get a touch on it and send it towards her teammate. In and around there was Fairchild, and she's able to gather the ball and take possession of it. She can't quite get it under, and despite a few attempts to get rid of it, she's been called holding. So instead it'll be Peterson, who'll try and get Carlton moving here, see if they can replicate what they did in the third term and go forward. So she finds her teammate out wide, and Lou, in her captain, who'll go forward. A little tiny kick, looks like it didn't quite come off right off the boot, and she gets it to a Darebin player who gets called holding, so she opted to play on, couldn't do anything with it, so instead it'll be Carlton's ball again. So it'll be Peterson who goes towards her teammate. Nice little mark there in Mangan. So a bit of a slow start for Carlton. They're trying to find their opposition rather than trying to find their teammates rather than go quickly and go into the hands of opposition. So high ball into the 50. It goes into the hands of Honeybun. She can't quite hold on to it, but gets a little touch on it. Darebin's able to control it a little bit here, looking to get out of trouble, but they can't. Instead, it goes into the hands of Carlton, and it'll be another ball up.
We'll try and restart play here at the 48-metre mark. And away we go again. One out by Karis. Ball at the ground. Woody Lang tried to slap it along the carpet. Just put into heavy traffic, and the umpire says it's going nowhere. We'll call for another ball up. 20-point lead to Casey over Carlton. Earlier today, Collingwood beat Geelong by 2 points. Port Melbourne beat North Melbourne by 33 points. Trying to fight the way through their Hammonds. Ball came out. Is it a throw? Umpire not officiating says it was against Lauren McGee, and it'll be a free kick going the way of the Blues. Honeybun goes towards the hot spot, 15 metres out from goal. Dangerous by Casey to go backwards to their own goal square, originally through Emma Horn, but they managed to almost swing it out of the 50, looking for Simmons in the one-on-one. Umpire blows the whistle and says it's all locked up. We'll call for another ball up. Call with it there, Winnie Lang. And again, we'll reset play. Ball's up in the air. One out, Karis trying to fight there. Klaveski goes towards the boundary line. Lang again going up the football. Was she legged without it? Umpire says yes, she was. It will be a free kick. Winnie Lang 50 metres out from goal.
So Winnie Lang goes forward. She wastes no time. Sends it high towards the pack. Looks like being able to pluck it out of the pack was actually Karis, but she couldn't hold on to it. So instead it's gone into a little bit of dispute there, and it'll be a throw up quite quickly. The umpire chose to call that he'll restart the play here, not far out. Going up there for Carlton was Kalevsky. She couldn't quite get her hands onto it, but again, it's the Carlton players who are able to grab it but can't do anything with it. So we'll have another ball up. So a few stoppages here, edging closer. And up going for the ball of the two rucks again, able to gain control is Casey. They're trying to get it out of their 50, and there's a bit of a ball going along the ground and bouncing and bobbling into the hands of Casey again. They somehow managed to gain control of it again. Simmons was in the mix there. So a kick goes towards Tarrant, who's able to make it, despite a very big bit of pressure there from Coletti, who tackles her down and is able to get the ball into her side's hands. But again, Casey mops up there and sends the ball running after it. Is Tarrant again trying to pick it up. She gathers it, she drops it, she goes to gather it again, but in there was Ware trying to stop her from getting her hands on the ball to take clean possession of it. And this time it'll be the umpire who's intervened and will send the ball to Casey and will give them a free kick.
For a throw.
So this time it'll be Milford who'll have an opportunity here. She's putting her foot down to get a little bit of a mark there, so it looks like she'll be going for goals here.
Lise Collette, do you think this will ice the game?
Maybe, if not, get it very close to icing the game there.
So Milford running in here. She takes a bit of a slow approach and puts it on the right boot. It goes high and it goes long and it looks good. And it's a goal. There we go. That could be the icing on the game here at IKON Park. Milford sends the ball through for her first goal of the day. She missed earlier on, but that makes it 5 goals 9, 39
Yep.
to 2-1-13 here at IKON Park.
Yeah, that's gonna hurt for Carlton. They were looking very good. It was clear what they were trying to do and trying to use the space out wide on the city side of the ground. But yeah, Casey were able to work it back out of their defence and make the most of it.
So early stages of this final term, out to 26 points the difference. Uphill battle now for the Blues as the umpire throws the ball up in the middle. One out again by Karras, who quickly got on her teammate, who slammed it on the boot to go inside 50. The ball pounced past Fellows, managing to find Brown at Tarrant, who's already got 3 today. Kicks it into the forward pocket. Coletti's back there, trying to get rid of the hand pass before she was claimed. Now just stepping back and kicking around the corner was Imogen Milford to try and square it up. Tarrant then goes to the lay for the tackle. Blues will try and come away through McAuliffe. Pulls the kick at the last minute. Sets a task for a teammate. She'll have to back up and help out. McAuliffe is under all kinds of pressure from Kelly Thompson. And Thompson, originally from the Seaford Tigerettes, gets the free kick for the KC Demons. Couple of metres inside the boundary line. 40 metres out. Decides to pop it up towards the top of the goal square. Came off hands. Ball passed awkwardly past Coletti. There for support is Gurr. She's back on the ground, back out on the ground, which is good to see after she hobbled off during the third term. Her kick towards the half-back flank. Now they're going to set it up using the agency of Hammonds. Hammonds draws the player, goes to the hand pass over the top. Player had to wait for it. Got dumped into the ground unfairly, maybe by McGee. Umpire said no, it was fair. Pack will quickly form and will call for a ball up between centre and centre-half forward for Carlton. They're 2-1-13, trailing Casey 5-9-39.
So we'll go again here, and up go the two rucks again, straight into the hands of Carlton, who just pops it onto the ball. They're going straight towards their attacking square, even though there's no one there. Oh, but running into it is Paige Trudgeon. She comes on and finds it in amongst 2 Casey players there, and she's able to put on her second goal for the day. And Carlton's third here at IKON Park, so it's 3-1. I've got to get better at maths. 3-1. 19. Trailing Casey 5-9-39.
What can we say? Grade 5, the best 3 years of our life. Elise Collette.
Yeah, that was really good work there from Carlton just to pull it out of the stoppage, and the kick into Trudgeon looked like it might have rolled through for a goal itself, but a bit of bad bounce there, but it all worked out in the end for Carlton.
Well, I shouldn't mock. I grew up and went to school at Broadmeadows High School, where it had on the school principal's door, please knock before break and enter. As the ball is thrown up in the air, away we go again. One out by Karras, put it straight down the throat of her teammate, and that is the 32 and Eliza West. She managed to spot up Beauchard, who went inside 50. Now a chance to run on for Tarrant. Oh, that's the way to answer back. Ouch.
Easy as you like there for Brenner. It's just 2 steps straight through.
Just when you thought that Carlton were going to try and work their way back into the game, talk about snuffing out any challenge. That was just brutal there from the KC Demons, and they now move to 6-9-45. Carlton 3-1-19. For Tarrant Elise Collette, that's her 4th goal of the game.
Yeah, absolutely, and it shows that although she has obviously been dropped from the Melbourne side this week, it shows that I deserve to be back at that AFLW level, and I'm going to prove it.
Gee, they've had an answer for everything, haven't they, Casey? Every time Carlton's got on a bit of a run, Casey's had a quick goal to stop, so they'll try and push a little bit Casey here and run out the game. But trying to have something to say about that there was McAuliffe, who had laid a great tackle on her opponent there, but still it'll be Casey who'll hold possession of this and send it into their 50 to take a strong mark and won't be able to quite go the distance, but taking a strong mark is Fellow, so she goes for a little chip kick over the head of her teammate, but running onto it there will be Thompson, who's able to get the hand pass, pops it on the right boot. She sends it and she centres it, and it's none other than Tarrant, who'll have yet another shot at goal and a chance to put her 5th on for today.
Yeah, that was great work from Casey in the pocket there. Just great teamwork and using the shepherd just to make the kick easier for their teammate.
So Tarrant runs in, pops it through, 5th goal of the day for her.
Easy as you like.
Very easy, very quick goal there from Casey. So that's 7-9-51. Thanks for the score, Peter. To 3-1-19. Leading the Blues here, and the Blues have had their chance to smile, and the fans have had a bit of something to cheer about, but it looks all Casey from here on in.
Elise Collette, I guess the pleasing thing that we now have a partial alignment between the VFLW and AFLW seasons is that by Brianna Tarrant kicking 5 today, she puts on the pressure to her teammates who play tomorrow against Collingwood in the AFLW. If you don't bring home the win, I'm coming for your spot in the team.
Yeah, absolutely. And she's been in and around the team for a number of weeks now. And, yeah, in other years, she wouldn't have had that opportunity to prove herself.
Free kick going the way of Peterson for Carlton, who kicked it in towards the forward 50, but it was sent back from once it came by Eliza West. Bringing towards the middle of the ground. Heavy traffic as Ingram tried to come through there for Carlton. She's immediately caught, brought to ground. And the umpire says, I'll call for a ball up. Between centre and centre wing on the City side of the ground, still within the centre square. They get the little punch going forward. Koleski overruns the football. Getting in there, Zampaglione tried to get a kick away, but it was immediately smothered off the boot. Everyone's going to jump on the ball, and we are going to call for a ball up. Don't forget, you can follow us on social media for the VFL, of course, at VFL, for all the latest VFL men's and VFL women's news, and of course, for us and our radio call at WARF Radio on Twitter. As they go towards the Casey centre half forward, Notman tried to get in front for Carlton, but the Demons sent it immediately in towards their forward 50, juggling the ball at the moment and trying to keep it in front of her, Tarrant, who now gave it a pump. It was Karras who gave it across to Emma Humphreys. Humphreys kicked towards the top of the goal square, intercepted though by Jen Liu. Liu takes a bounce and goes for a run. The former New South Wales ACT captain tried to take on one too many. Her name was Isabel Simmons, and she said, "You shall not pass."
Yeah, great tackle there from Simmons, and she's another one of the Melbourne listed girls who are trying to prove themselves and trying to barge into that Melbourne lineup, which at the moment is easier said than done. And she's had a pretty good game today, Simmons, so see where that leads her.
Simmons was CityLink and Jen Liu was a speeding driver without an E-tag, and that's what the result was in the end. Simmons comes in from 45 metres out, has a crack, it will get to the goal square and will go through hands and register as a minor score. 7-10-52, the Casey Demons leading Carlton 3-1-19. Here in the final quarter in our VFLW match of the day. Again, here's Lauren Borden.
So Build looks to take it out here again. She plays on, puts it on the boot to go wide. She's got a bit of a little contest that she's hit here, but it looks like Lou's been able to hold on to it there, and she has. So again, she'll go with a kick towards her teammate, who again was in a tough contest there. It was 3v1, but she's able to take hold of it, and Carlton still remains with possession here, almost surprisingly here, but this time it was too much, and it was Thompson who was able to get that for Casey, and just to give her side a little bit of an opportunity here, but she's tied up anyway. The umpire lets it go and lets it go, but in the hands of Zampaglione, he's called it, and he'll go for a ball up.
Reset play here on the NAB logo. Or was that the Rebel Sport logo? Who's paying the invoice here? As we swing around and get a kick from Eliza West on the left boot. Kicks it in towards the centre square. Notman, it falls for her. Takes it off the carpet and then goes with a short pass. Works out okay to Winnie Lang. Now, will there be a 50? No, just watching the player there on the mark in Kendall. Winnie Lang gets the play on call. Lang decides to go long, inside 50, front posse though, and taking a good mark, Nicole Hales, the Premiership captain of Collingwood. And that, of course, was back in 2019 before herself and Grace Buchan changed to the Casey Demons for the 2021 season. Carlton, though, intercept here on the wing position. It's McAuliffe who gave it across to Ingram, who went up the line, only for it to be intercepted once again. And taking it back, Nicole Hales for the KC Demons. Winnie Lang had it momentarily, popped out of her hands. Ingram caught Fellows, hand pass over the top. Humphreys is gone. Umpire says that is holding the football, and that is a free kick going the way of the Blues. And going to end up with it is the number 23, Jessie Coletti.
So Jessie Coletti, she'll take it here on the broadcast side of the ground. She looks around. She's got a few options short. And she just goes for the short chip kick, and she finds her teammate in Mangan, who holds on to it and sends off a quick hand pass to McAuliffe. They're under a bit of pressure and in a little bit of trouble. So going for a run here with it is Honeybun. She sends it high and straight into the arms of her opposition. So now it'll be Darabin's chance to go forward here. And again, they'll go slowly and finding the hands of Fairchild. She's had a little bit of the ball today, so she'll look to move it on quickly. She can't quite get it onto her boot, not what she wanted, but it looks like her teammate might be able to grab it there in Kendall, and they do. They get it out and off they go on a little bit of a run. Great smother there coming from Carlton, who look to gain this and do something and end the game on a high. But it looks like Honeybun there, who might have been brought to ground. And so it'll be a free kick for Casey, and they'll take this free kick and look to go forward. Bit of crowding around the ball here, but they go towards a little bit of a pack, and it's Carlton out the back who's able to actually manage to gain control of that. So it's McAuliffe again, who picks it up and grabs it, but she can't do anything with it, and she's taken down to the ground, pulled down to the ground, and the umpire will pick it up and throw it up.
So let's restart play right in front of our broadcast position. Won by Winbanks, put it down the throat of Humphreys, who swung around, put it on the right boot, goes towards the half-forward play position, out the back. Here comes Karras. Karras gets away from Coletti. Doesn't quite finish the job, though. It's away to the left-hand side and will register as a minor score. 7-11-53, the KC Demons. Carlton 3-1-19 here on our WARF Radio and VFLW live stream. Great to have your company. And also today is our match analyst is Elise Collette.
Yeah, it was a good run there from Maggie Karras. Unfortunately for Casey, it didn't quite get the intended result, but at the same time, if she'd taken those couple extra steps, she might have, unfortunately for Casey, been tackled.
When they've got pace here, Carlton, they definitely show it, and that was one of those cases as the ball got to Lawrence, and she got some cheers from the Carlton fans here when she took the mark, so she tries to send it on, and it's in the arms of Trudgeon, who gets the ball out, struggled a little bit, was able to get it out, but this time it'll be a free again. Holding, I think it might have been, so it'll go to Trudgeon.
High contact.
Oh, high contact, thank you. So she'll get the ball just a little chip just to centre it and give her side a bit of chance to reset so they can see what they want to do and go for their set play potentially. So at the top of the arc here is Mangan. So she takes a nice little mark there, puts it onto the right boot and goes wide to find her teammate who's able to just hold on to it despite the pressure coming from her Casey opponent there. So Honeybun, she'll take the ball here and send it deep into her side's attacking 50. Right in and amongst that is Klingbeil. But again, it's Casey who are able to mop up everything here and strong defence there to get it straight out. No mucking around here. They get it out as quickly as possible, straight into the centre of the ground. But in the back, it'll be a chance now for Carlton to go again through Coletti. And it'll go down to Sembaglione. You can't quite hold on to it, but she gets some strong hands onto it and brings it to ground. Running onto it is McGee, who's able to clear it a little bit for Casey, and they start to go on a run here. There's no one home in the 50, but instead they kick it in anyway. Running onto it is Fallow. She goes, she picks it up cleanly. She's got a little bit of time, puts it on the right boot, but it's wide. So hands on heads there from Fallows. She knows she's missed an opportunity there. Won't make much difference to who gets the 4 points here. So it's 7-12-54, leading Carlton 3-1-19.
I love the she goes bit. It takes us back to the comedy company and Kylie Mole back in the 80s. She just goes. Just look up on YouTube, young kids. You'll understand what comedy was in the 80s. Zampaglione takes the mark, down 35 out from defensive goal. Now swings around on the right boot. Oh, it's a bit of a woeful kick. Humphries almost cut it off, brought it down to ground. Her teammates actually managed to help her out for Carlton. That is Zampaglione, manages to get it back again. Kicks it outside the 50 arc. Under pressure, though, is Honeybun. Going into the side here is Fitzsimmons. Zampaglione goes again, fighting hard for the ball. Met there by Thompson. Thompson on the ground. The umpire says cop one over the shoulder, free kick. In fact, on the bottom of the deck in the end, and getting that free kick is the number 40, Maggie Fitzsimmons, who goes for a pass towards the forward pocket. 1-2 bites the cherry. It couldn't quite be brought in on that occasion by Fellows. It's taken away here by the Blues, close towards the boundary line. Bimbel going for it. Now, did it come off hands or go over the boundary line? It went over the boundary line on the full, and that means it will be a free kick, and it'll be going the way of Emma Horn.
So not long left remaining in this match, just about 40 seconds. Casey, you've got a chance here to put another goal through and just heap a little bit more pain on Carlton. So it'll be Humphries with the ball here. She'll look to do something with it with not long left on the clock. So she's urged to play on, just sends it into there. Looks like it might go straight into the hands of Carlton and Ware, but she's not able to gain control of it. It goes under her. But it'll be a free in the back. So Casey, a chance here into the hands again of Fitzsimmons to have another shot at goal. She lines up nearly identically to where she was before, a little to the right. She'll go from about 30 metres and doesn't waste any time in going forward. So takes her run up and goes for goals on the right boot just as the siren sounds, and she pops it through to a behind for a behind to make the final score here at IKON Park 7-13-55. Casey defeat Carlton 3-1-19.
Well, Elise Collette, in the end, Carlton, they were better in the second half than they were in the first half. They showed little bits. You thought they're going to make a go of this, but in the end, and the pleasing thing for Casey Demons and Melbourne supporters who are following the Melbourne players of the Casey Demons, is that they just ran all over the top in the end and just kept going right through to the end. If probably not some inaccuracies, it probably could have been an even bigger score in the end.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, Carlton had their moments and they were looking good at points, but Casey were just another level. And as you said, that if they'd been a bit more accurate, it would have definitely been a bigger margin. And for those Melbourne supporters who are listening, shout out to any D supporters who are listening, the likes of Brenna Tarrant and even the ones that us D supporters haven't seen much of, like Icarus's Isabel Simmons, Kendall, they all did really well today, and yeah, proving why they're on the AFLW list to begin with.
Now, radio listeners will be staying with us on WARFradio.com for another 10 minutes. VFLW live stream viewers may be leaving us shortly. Just a quick plug that, of course, tomorrow for radio, you have on WARFradio.com, WARFradio.com, the Western Bulldogs and Hawthorn game from 9 a.m. And then from 11:30 a.m, you've got the video stream. Just follow the VFL on social media through Twitter, and you will find the link to the game between Darebin and Williamstown from 11:30 a.m. That is the video stream game. And again, for video watchers, Casey Demons today, Brianna Tarrant 5 goals. I got one to Talia Fellows and the other one to Imogen Milford, and for Carlton 2 to Trudgeon and 1 to Lawrence. So thanks again for those that have watched on YouTube on the VFLW stream. For radio listeners, as we continue on WRFradio.com, for Lauren Borden, first of all, round of applause for your debut today on play-by-play. Fantastic effort. Again, Brianna Tarrant, 5 goals, standing out today, but so much run through the midfield today for the Casey Demons. And, you know, as the old saying goes, when one thing goes right for you, everything else starts going right for you.
It sure does, and that was potentially what the difference did look like. You know, the ball has always ended up in the hands of Casey. Even when Carlton had it, it looked like they might have been able to do something with it. A bit of pressure and a bit of push from Casey, and that's what they got. And I think they were, sensational through the middle today in being able to get it either from the bottom of the pack, but actually just being able to force that ball up. And that was from something where they were able to get that run that potentially Carlton wasn't able to stop.
Yeah, absolutely. And I just the other pleasing thing for Casey is they didn't rely on the AFLW listed players. I was alluding to it before. The likes of Tarrant was very good. Karras was very good. but also the likes of Buchan, Thompson, McDonald, who are VFLW listed players and will be there week in, week out. They were brilliant today and will be very, very much relied on for Casey heading into the rest of the year.
And talking about some of the other AFLW listed players, obviously people listening back in Ireland want to know about Lauren McGee. We're in the 39 today. I thought a serviceable performance, but it feels like she still does need more game time. And even she said she was surprised last week when she got her AFLW debut. And I think it is right. It just seems like she's got the talent there. It just needs a bit more match time, a bit more hands on the ball.
Yeah, and you've got to remember that she's coming from Gaelic football, which is not like Aussie rules at all.
And an interrupted pre-season. She had 14 days quarantine, and she got out of that quarantine in almost late January.
Yeah, because she, alongside Niamh McAvoy and Sinead Goldrick, stayed behind in Ireland to finish out the Gaelic commitments with Dublin, who did end up winning the All-Ireland final. And so they stayed there over Christmas, then came out here, did their 2 weeks in Brisbane, and then came down to Melbourne, maybe had a week, maybe two, before the start of the pre-season. And so, yeah, the fact that she has picked it up as well as she has so far is testament to her.
Absolutely. If we try and look for some positives out of Carlton's team and who played well today, and I'm trying to go down the list. Millie Klingbeil, again, if I'm correct, Klingbeil originally on the Geelong and Richmond VFLW lists. Tried hard for them today. Class in the back line by Jennifer Liu. You can tell that she's been playing the game for ages, and and I talked about that kick that she had out of the back line, long and direct to an opponent. And I reckon if you're the coach, Lico Shaughnessy, for Carlton, if you're going to show any highlight of today's game, you show that over and over again, saying the reason why they broke down with the kicks going up the ground, sometimes they're a bit cute or a bit too weighted or a bit 50-50 of how to... Because you've got in your mind, the players have got the structure of what line I have to go, the lines that they're taking as they go up the ground. And sometimes they're like, do I go to this contest or not? And they don't kick through the ball properly. You see Jen Liu's of, when you kick it, you kick fully through the football, you kick with purpose. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. But whatever you do, you back yourself in 100%. Don't go half-hearted.
Yeah, absolutely. And the other thing that really impressed me with Liu's